Donald Trump has signed. Was it wrong chair?
Yeah, wrong. They got switched.
You guys are social. I'll switching the cameras out here. We're here in Vegas. Donald Trump signed an executive order, and it's ordering the reclassification of marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, which is like testosterone, ketamine, and Tylenol with codeine, which is a dramatic reduction. The expectation is this is moving towards full legalization, but Trump, he said, no, we're not going to legalize it. And I think the reality is conservatives don't want it legalized. This is still a major move Donald Trump is making. It's going to allow research. It's going to allow broad medicinal marijuana prescriptions. So it's kind of a big deal. And then we got, oh, this is crazy, that shooting at MIT, that fusion professor may be linked to the other shooting that was recently at Brown. And then we got Marjorie Taylor Greene's bill, which passed the House, saying no more sex changes for kids. It's going to, yeah, it's crazy. It's going to be a crazy day, my friends. So, of course, as we get into it, smash that like button, all that good stuff. We got a sponsor for you before we go get started. We got PDS Debt. My friends, fresh start, same system banks when you pay. Fees and calls piling up monthly. Unless you fight back, PDS Debt has already helped. Unless you fight back, PDS Debt has already helped hundreds of thousands cut their debt and put money back in their pockets. Whether you are struggling with credit cards, personal loans, or medical bills, PDS Debt has custom options to help you get out of debt. They go beyond the numbers to understand your unique financial situation and craft a personalized plan designed just for you. There's no minimum credit score required. They're here to help you save money, pay off your debt faster, and start putting money back where it belongs in your pocket. They are A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, boasting thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and holding a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. Why? Because PDS has helped hundreds of thousands of people get out of debt. Every month you wait costs you more in interest and fees. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is now, my friends. So check out pds.com/Tim. That is pds.com/Tim. And most importantly, my friends, go to timcast.com, click join us to get in that Discord community. As a member of our Discord server, there are tens of thousands of like-minded individuals. There's pre-shows. There's a show in the morning. There's a show before IRL hosted by Slick and Olivia. There's the after show. And as a member of the Discord, you can call in and talk to us and our guests during the uncensored portion of the show, so you don't want to miss it.
We just had our first Discord baby today, apparently.
The Discord baby?
Yeah, the couple, one of the couples that got together in the Discord, they met in the Discord, got married. They had their first baby today.
Wow.
So
maybe you'll get married too if you join our Discord server. Anyway, smash that like button. Share the show with everyone you know joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more. We got Craig Smith.
God, how you doing? If I owe you something, get it from God.
Who are you? What do you do?
Man, I'm a comedian, filmmaker, musician. I do it all, man. Every day I duck poverty. You know what I mean? That's my goal. So, yeah, man, I was introduced to you by David Lucas, man. And
oh, right on.
You're a brilliant guy, man. I'm a fan of what you do. I'm glad to be here, buddy.
Well, thanks for coming. Yeah. We got Tate hanging out.
What is going on, Patriots? This is Tate Brown here, holding it down. I'm also ducking poverty on a daily basis, so there'll be some commonality there. So I think we're ready for a good show. Ian, how's it going?
Very good, man. Thanks for asking. I'm the producer of Graphene Movie. Check out graphene.movie. Sign up for the mailing list. It's coming soon. The trailer will be available very soon at graphene.movie. You're going to want to see that. I'm at Ian Crossland. Follow me all over the internet at Ian Crossland and Phil Labonte.
Hello, everybody. My name is Phil Labonte. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and a counter-revolutionary. Let's get into it.
Here's the big news, my friends, from CNN Politics. Trump signs executive order expediting marijuana reclassification after lobbying from the cannabis industry. Oh, boy. Now, it doesn't legalize marijuana, but it's reducing it in the schedule. So if you don't know what that means, Schedule 1, it's insane drugs. It's like cocaine and heroin. But now it's being moved off that list to Schedule 3, which is basically like testosterone or Tylenol with codeine, which is still a prescription thing, but it's not that crazy. Quote, this reclassification order will make it far easier to conduct marijuana-related medical research, allowing us to study benefits, potential dangers, and future treatments, Trump said in the Oval Office. It's going to have a tremendously positive impact. The order, which directs Attorney General Pam Bondi to hasten the process of loosening federal restrictions, but does not include a timeline, comes after an intense lobbying campaign from the cannabis industry. I've never been inundated by so many people as I have about this particular reclassification, Trump said. It's currently considered Schedule 1 along with heroin, LSD, and ecstasy, which are not considered to have any acceptable medical use, according to the DEA. It will eventually be reclassified as a Schedule 3 drug, which, according to the DEA, will have has a moderate to low potential for physical and psychological dependence. The facts compel the federal government to recognize that marijuana can be legitimate in terms of medical applications when carefully administered. In some cases, this may include the use as a substitute for addictive and potentially lethal opioid painkillers, Trump said, calling the move common sense. I think it's politically very good for Trump and the Republicans. I'm not the biggest fan of marijuana legalization, although I don't think it should be Schedule 1. I think that if we enable mass marijuana across the country, I think you're going to get a lethargic population. You've already got a decaying culture. I'm still a little bit more libertarian on this one, so I think it should be largely, I guess, decriminalized. But I have concerns about what's already happening to a crumbling empire and society when we then throw pot on top. Mm-hmm. And then, what was it that South Park said? It makes you okay with being bored. And then when you get older, you'll find you're not good at anything.
Yep.
I don't think that's good for this country.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I mean, I'm generally considered one of the resident prudes here at Timcast, so I have a disposition against marijuana generally, but I actually do sympathize with the argument being made by the Trump administration. Schedule 1 seems a bit crazy in many regards, putting it on the same tier as heroin and these sorts of things. I can be persuaded on sort of the medical argument. The more I learn about it, the more I'm like, okay, that does make sense in these applications, but I do share Tim's fears that obviously total legalization I don't think contributes to any sort of positive developments in the United States. I think the way things are heading in the United States, I don't know if legalizing marijuana en masse would really contribute to anything beneficial in any ways. I don't know. That's probably an unpopular take with the Timcast audience, but I do agree with Tim. I think you see, like in the Netherlands, where they've gone with full legalization, the pitch that was made to the Dutch people was, you don't have to worry about like adolescents, with their marijuana usage. But then as soon as it was legalized, it spiked dramatically among adolescents. It became very normalized throughout society. And then this became, I know the big-haired church ladies, they catch a lot of ire, but they're typically right on a lot of these things. It does end up leading kids, specifically kids, into a more hard drug culture. With adults, it's slightly different, but the priority here is obviously adolescents. So
I don't even think Ian smokes pot. Look at him.
Oh, I like pot. I do. It's just you got to balance it out.
You gotta be kidding me.
What a shock! It's potent. It's a potentially destructive and dangerous chemical, THC, especially when it's out of balance. Like a lot of the modern weed is like been cultured and grown and such that it's 27, 28, 29% THC levels, whereas it used to be like 13. Right. And then it's out of balance with the amount of CBD. So CBD is really the healing chemical found in marijuana, cannabidiol. I think it's how you pronounce it. I mean, they both have healing properties, but the out of balanceness makes people, I think, paranoid. They're crazy. They think too much. They're nervous. Like, that's not good. And it's very easy to overdose on that stuff, man. Like a puff, you don't really need a lot of that potent psychoactive to get the real benefits from it.
I don't have a particular strong argument against any of the points being made here, but I do think that it's worth noting a lot of states have decriminalized it now. And I think that because the states have kind of spoken and made it clear that the majority of the country wants it to be at least decriminalized, I do think that it's good that the federal government's responding to that. Now, again, I don't think that any of the points you guys are making about what it does to young people, about the ramifications of it are wrong. But I do think that if the states are going to say, look, we don't want to put people in jail and waste the resources going after potheads, I think it's good that the federal government's responding to that.
Well, you look like you smoke pot.
I don't smoke pot.
Oh, I was wrong.
But here's the thing.
Comedian doesn't smoke pot. Come on.
I like the government selling weed over people, in the hood. You know what I mean? Where I grew up, like guys would actually spray PCP on weed and sell it to people as a higher grade of weed. Whoa! And so, I know a few people that actually thought they were smoking marijuana and lost their minds after they smoked it. They were never the same. You know what I mean? So, I agree with the regulation on marijuana. If I was a guy in the street selling it, I wouldn't agree with it. But, I mean, I see the benefit.
I thought earlier today, something you kind of mentioned, Phil, is that this might actually free up resources for these guys to go after illegal immigration. Like, I wonder if that was part of the plan.
Yeah, probably.
The issue is, to Phil's point, where it's like a state-by-state basis, is typically the pitch that's made from these state governments when they're trying to pass legislation to legalize marijuana is the pitch they make to conservatives who, are on the fence about it, they could be persuaded one way or another. Typically, the pitch that's made is, hey, this generates a lot of tax revenue for the state. We can start taxing marijuana. But the issue that we saw in Colorado is that they didn't factor in the social costs that would come with legalizing marijuana. So Colorado is a great example. They ended up finding that for every dollar of tax revenue that was generated from marijuana purchases, it costs $4.50 to the Colorado state government and healthcare, law enforcement, like education. The state has to provide education around marijuana, proper use.
Wait, I take it back. I'm for marijuana legalization now. I just realized conservatives aren't going to smoke it.
Yeah.
Like people on the right and people who are actually, more studious, hardworking, and meritocratic, they're probably not going to smoke it. And then all these liberals are going to get high off their asses all day, and it's going to make them okay with being bored and not being involved in politics. So all these far left whack jobs will just be stoned and sitting on the couch, and then they'll get out of the way.
Fair enough.
That's probably the best argument I've heard yet. That's really
Yeah.
good.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah.
I think that at the end of the day, this is something that by the Constitution, there's not really any kind of authority for the federal government to say you can't do this. It is a states' rights issue, in my opinion. And again, I'm not arguing with any of the points made about whether it's good for people or not. I just think that the federal government shouldn't be deciding whether or not people can do this. I think that alcohol is every bit as destructive, and the general consensus is people should be able to have a drink if they want.
Well, do you support the Maha regime?
I'm not typically a Maha guy. I mean, not that I'm against the Maha guys.
Yeah.
I just don't have any kind of let's
Well,
go.
because Maha is an indication of okay, we're applying regulation for the health of people.
Yeah, I mean, I understand a lot of the stuff that they're doing. And again, I was never I didn't come to
That's fair,
the
that's
right
consistent.
because
Oh, yeah.
of Maha.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
I've been a right leaning guy for even when I was a libertarian guy. I was a right leaning libertarian.
Yeah,
And,
I mean that's consistent. Yeah, because I was if you concede that Maha obviously is within the realm of the government, then you would have to apply that standard to marijuana.
it
Bro.
doesn't really vibe with me.
No, I'm just agreeing with you.
Oh, I was I thought there's someone
Agreeing.
Nothing behind you. It's
another
the same
tower
stream.
got hit. I was like, what?
Agreeing the way potheads agree, bruh.
What about the people in prison because of the old marijuana legislature? Do they get their restitution back? Or are they reimbursed for the time?
Nah, they get extra time. They get 10 more years.
Yeah.
No, I actually said this 5 years ago when Trump was running. I said he should pardon nonviolent pot convictions at the federal level so long as they weren't pleading down from a violent offense.
Yeah.
So the idea is Trump comes in and basically says, look, I'm the president. If you're arrested for distribution and there's no other, you couldn't have taken a plea deal, you're pardoned. Bam, rubber stamp. He would have won overnight.
Right.
I said he should have brought on Tulsi Gabbard. Look what he ended up doing. He never did this. I said he should have brought on Andrew Yang for economic advisor because that was huge with Rogan's crowd.
Yeah.
The UBI stuff, not that I'm a fan of it, but these ideas were palatable, and Trump could have shown a willingness to be bipartisan. But more importantly, the big point was, and it's funny because in the context of me saying 49 state landslide, I said if Donald Trump legalizes pot or vacates or pardons all of these nonviolent pot convictions, landslide, 49 state landslide, he's gonna crush it. Look what he's doing now. These are moves he's making because we're entering a midterm year. So he's doing this, and he's doing a bunch of other things. He's doing that sporting event. He made Christmas now 3 holidays.
Yeah.
Was it 4?
It's New Year's,
Three.
or it's Eve and the day after. So
Yeah.
Boxing Day. We now have Boxing Day.
Let's
in the United
go.
States. So these Brits are slowly creeping back in. What's
I thought-
going on?
Wait, it's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Boxing
And
Day.
after
the
Christmas.
day
26.
after Christmas.
3.
Yeah,
3
yeah.
days.
I mean, look,
3 days off.
The left has got to love this just because of the fact that they like days off, right?
That's
they're
true.
looking to cut the work
very
week
true.
down to 30 hours. They can't complain about.
No, I supported the day after being a federal holiday until I saw the British saying, "Oh, the Americans are getting Boxing Day." I was like, you know what? I'll work. That's fine. I'll clock in. That's ridiculous.
So I'm going to jump to this because AmFest is currently happening, and I'm not intentionally trying to drag them, but we were having this conversation about the legalization of marijuana, and this was brought to my attention by a Wall Street Journal reporter recently, just literally a couple hours ago, and I checked. Bobby Kennedy's not scheduled to speak at AmFest. And so what happens was I get a call from this Wall Street Journal reporter asking me, what do I think about AmFest? And it's I was like, what I already said, and this woman, she asks me, a lot of the Maha guys, the Maha people, they're not here. She's like, we're here, and it's like they're not speaking. And I asked her, I was like, is Bobby Kennedy speaking? And she's like, not. He's not on the schedule. And to me, that was like a whoa, holy crap, because it was last year that Bobby Kennedy stood on stage at a Turning Point event, shaking Trump's hand, with fireworks exploding in the air, uniting these like suburban moms with the MAGA movement, giving Trump the edge to win. And now AmFest is happening, and you know, my prediction was it's going to be almost exclusively dudes in suits coming out and just saying Christianity or immigration. They're getting rid of that middle of the road or that Maha stuff. People like Ian, you know what I mean?
We need more people like Ian. And we talked.
I don't know about that, but they are getting rid of them.
We'll have more people like Ian. Posobiec wanted to do a rock show. I don't know what happened. We were talking about
AmFest?
Creed.
Yeah, they went to Creed, yeah.
Like that's
true.
We need a vibe shift into that. I think would be better than into more suits.
And I'm not privy to the approval ratings, but I would assume Bobby Kennedy is like the most popular cabinet member by far.
He's my
Right.
favorite.
Like,
Well, apparently he's why suburban women voted for Trump.
yeah, I mean, I think people in the conservative world,
Bro.
like me, completely underestimated how big RFK's reach
Arms
is.
are.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah.
You see him doing those pull-ups?
Dude,
That and
insane.
Olivia Nuzzi?
And he's doing it
Yeah.
in jeans.
Did you guys know about
he's doing
the
this
Olivia
all
Nuzzi
in
thing, right?
jeans? Oh yeah.
She moved to 45 minutes away from where he lives now. She's staying. She's staking out his house. I was texting
right now.
Dude.
I just saw a post from the New York Post, I believe. She's staying at a place that's 45 minutes away from RFK's place.
Dude,
I think
she
she's
is
stalking him.
thirsty.
Yeah,
Orbiter, man.
Could you
she's
imagine?
thirsty.
Is RFK Jr. like married?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
There's Cheryl Hines
Oh.
from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Really?
Played Larry's
Could you
wife.
imagine being like, how old is RFK? He's like 80?
She's
I'm
like
kidding. He's like 70
mid-70s,
something.
Yeah.
Just some like a really old dude, and you're taking HGH and testosterone. You're like, I can pull up 50 times, and then this like 30, like late 30s woman is just stalking you. He must feel really good. you
Yeah,
know?
some
Like, I still got it.
Some men drown while others die of thirst. That's what's happening here. Olivia, you gotta stay away.
Dude, isn't
It's
that
bad for
crazy that like,
business.
where was she working?
Olivia Nuzzi?
Nuzzi?
Times?
New York Times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And then
Times.
she like, what she got like assigned to interview him, and then she just stalks him the whole
Yeah,
time.
it's that RFK Riz. It's different. That Maha
Yeah,
Riz. Dude, you know
Olivia-
you know about the kind of pheromones that guy's giving off? It's turning these ladies into animals.
Dude, let's like first of all, he's probably completely unvaccinated.
Yeah, this dude is. I mean, this dude could like single-handedly fix the birth rate if you cut him loose.
No,
I mean,
it's the, you know what it is? It's all these guys. Okay, YouTube, calm down. I'm joking when I say this, but you know, there's some guy at YouTube with his finger over the censor button. I was gonna say there are these young guys that are just chock full of these vaccines and they're shedding, and so all these women are like, "What's that smell?" But you know, unvaxxed Bobby Kennedy, he's just like, "Look at me." I'm joking. Calm down.
She's 32 years old.
Vaccines are
and
fun. Wow.
She's I put in the Slack. New York Post says she's 32 years old. She's been hiding from the glare of the paparazzi at the 2-bedroom house, $3.5 million Malibu compound,
wow.
just
He's
45 minutes
telling
from
you.
He should
RFK
just
Jr.'s
smash
LA mansion.
For these-
it is
What
thirst.
do you say?
He should just
Smash it.
smash in his blood. Kennedys aren't loyal to women. They cheat. That's what they do.
It's in the blood. Hey, it's my
crushing
legacy.
it.
You know, this is
Just
Go
crushing
go
it.
visit Marilyn
Dude.
Monroe's grave and then go smash her.
I mean, like,
You got to bring a shovel, but he'll make it work. He'll make it work.
how old? Can someone look up how old RFK Jr. is?
Man, I'm telling you, it's like a hot pie on a windowsill for these ladies. I don't
Bro,
know what's
he's up
going
there.
on.
It's fresh.
He's 71. God. All right.
She's 32.
And he takes HGH, doesn't he?
Oh,
And
yeah.
testosterone.
Yeah.
Dude.
I mean,
'Cause
I don't know
he's
for
jacked.
sure, but he looks like it.
That's why it's tough for like guys like me or like mid-20s, and then these old heads with the HGH are like nerfing. They're smurfing. They're coming down to our low rank. They're our low tier, and they're just
I
like
mean-
running.
Oh, bro,
you know,
let's
running
be
the
real.
gauntlet.
Like, how old are you?
24.
Okay, you're a
yeah.
little young for Olivia.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
well,
but-
you know,
but
I've gone to some
45
rescue missions.
years.
You're closer.
I've gone to some rescue missions.
What is it? It's half her age plus 7.
Yeah.
So
that stands in court, by the way.
that's 23, right? What is she? 32? Did I get my math wrong? No, 23. Yeah. So you're right in that range.
That's age. That's
But
age.
bro, how
line.
are you supposed to compete with this jacked up
I
RFK
can't.
Jr.?
I can't.
He's so handsome.
Yeah.
He's not hard to please, though. She just has to blow in his butt. He'll be all right.
Olivia, stop doing that. Olivia, please. Cheryl's gonna see you.
I have wind in me. Oh, no.
We gotta get to
Have you ever seen those videos where this is really actually really dark? There's like there's a video of these guys working at a mechanic. It's like an oil change place, and they have the air blower. They pull the trigger and it sprays really really?
Yeah,
and then they're blasting in each other's faces and they're going. But then one guy points at the other guy's ass and pulls a trigger.
Right.
Not even in his butt, but up to it, and it blew him up.
Oh, wow.
No, like he died. No,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
he literally died.
Blew his guts up.
It ruptured his colon, and he just and then he's gone.
What a way to
wow,
go.
Yeah.
Going out by ruptured colon.
Because there was another story that went viral where it
Bourbon
was
Street.
like an 18-year-old guy working at like an oil change place died of a ruptured colon and intestines, and the story that everyone thought it was like, oh,
His boyfriend got him. No.
no. It's actually
All these keep happening in San Francisco.
It gets real dark.
Blown out
Hey,
butts. It's crazy.
this one gets real dark because at first people were like, this happens because there's like people as a prank will point it at the butt, but the pressure is so powerful it cavitates the colon.
Oh, wow.
But that's not what happened to this young kid. They actually jammed it in his ass and pulled the trigger and killed him.
Oh, wow.
So that was like a murder.
That's
You know what I mean? That was just regular
He
murder.
didn't break win, he took win.
Get ass slaughtered.
And I just want to make sure everybody listening understands this started because he said blow in his butt.
That's hilarious.
true.
And then someone went, Olivia, stop doing it.
Quit. Cheryl's going to be back from Hamfest any minute now.
Hey man, I wrote it. I got a gift for you. I wrote a joke for you, man.
Did you?
They heard it already, man.
Oh, yeah?
It's about Candace Owens, man.
Oh, no. All right, what is it?
Hey, where I'm from, we call Candace Owens a chicken nugget because she's brown on the outside and she's always full of white meat.
Oh.
Her husband is a
was a
very
burn.
white man.
Yeah, so
Yeah. He's
If-
like, honestly, being a British lord is like as white as it gets.
That's like
right.
that's like the
oh,
benchmark.
he's a British lawyer.
Lord.
Lord.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
wow.
British lord.
That's the benchmark for white. Like John Stockton.
this?
Oh wow,
I hope he does.
Like he's got a butler.
Yeah, I hope he's just
Plays
like
tennis.
the most proper, like high class discussion. And even when he's being nice, it sounds like he's better than you.
Oh, yeah. He could carry a handbag around and it's not gay. You got
Anyway, we were talking about Amfest. So I got a call from this Wall Street Journal reporter, and she was asking me what I thought about what was going on, and I said, I'm still friends with them. Obviously, what happened. But I'm like, look, I don't think, like, if the direction they want to go, either directly or indirectly, is just to have more people wearing suits on stage talking about political issue, and the whole audience is going to be a bunch of people in suits, it's like CPAC.
Right.
Whereas a year ago, it was looking like it was going to be the new South by South, or a new South by Southwest, a major culture hub where James O'Keefe frosts his hair and then moonwalks on stage in a bulletproof vest, and you've got some weird stuff happening. And now it feels like it's turning into just like, staunch Romney-esque conservatives in suits saying, we need to talk about immigration. And like RFK Jr. could still be a part of that, but it looks like, and maybe he shows up, I don't know, but I just double checked, he's not scheduled to speak. And I'm like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? They didn't invite us. So I think, the problem they're going to face this year is at the midterms, that there's this like, I don't know if the easiest way to describe it is kind of like the Rogan-esque sphere of politics.
Call it like the bar stool. The Barstool
Yeah,
sphere.
that's probably a good way to put it too.
Barstool Americans is what they call it.
Is it Barstool Americans? They're not going to vote for these conservative guys. I told this reporter, look, the only thing that's going to make me vote Republican is if the Democrats keep getting crazier and crazier. Like, right, where they just voted to give kids sex changes. Or
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, I think the Republicans are going to be stodgy, suit-wearing dudes in the midterms, and we're all going to be just kind of like, ugh. But the Democrats are going to be trying to chop off kids' balls, and we're going to go, okay, I guess I'm voting Republican.
Yeah, well, it's been the big issue with Republicans is that they're perpetually the opposition party, and they never actually present sort of a new vision for the United States. This is the reason why when Trump's on the ballot, they get blown out of the water, because when Trump's on the ballot, they're just saying, look what the Democrats are doing. That's pretty horrible.
But bro, but like, imagine you went to a Globetrotters game and the Generals won.
Right.
You'd be pissed, and so that's probably how the political world feels, because the Republicans are supposed to be the generals who just lose no matter what.
Yeah.
And and the Globetrotters just dance around doing literally even breaking the rules, and no one cares.
Trump becoming the Republican nominee is like if the Generals like got Wembanyama. That's basically what happened. Like
They started winning, and then the people who ran the game were like, "This is not right. The Generals are not supposed to win." And so now they're trying. In all seriousness, though, I think they're trying to bring it back to the old days. They're trying to go back to the way it used to be, where Republicans sat on their asses with their thumbs up their ass at the same time, going, and Democrats just like ran roughshod over the country.
And that's a shame because that's not what Charlie wanted. That's not what Charlie wanted Turning Point to do. He was completely interested in bringing people into the party because that's the way that he looked at. I mean, at the end of the day, he was talked about like he wanted to make heaven crowded, right? Like he wanted to convert people to Christianity, and one of the ways that he was doing that was by bringing them first into the conservative party or the Republican Party, the MAGA coalition, and then he could reach out to them in a way that they could relate with. I mean, and I'm not a religious guy, but like at the same time, I understood what he was doing, and it's perfectly fine with me if you're fighting against the Democrats and you're bringing people in by doing things like having Timcast or whoever at Amfest. That's all good in my opinion.
Yeah, like I made this point like right after Charlie died. It might have been the day of when Charlie died. Is that the biggest loss among other things? One of the biggest losses of losing Charlie Kirk is that no one else was going to Utah Valley University on a Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like he was the only guy who didn't view, not the only guy, but he was like the loudest voice that didn't view Middle Americans as like these kitschy whatever. Like he wanted to engage them and speak their language or our language. I mean, that's where I come from, and that's why I resonated with him so much. And yet without that, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get CPAC reheated, and you're going to miss out on all these college kids.
I got to be honest, I'm bored. I think everyone's bored. I look, so we're out in Vegas. This is like Party City. And the people I talk to, dude, what's really crazy is how many people I'm walking around and they know who I am. Mm-hmm. And they all are like, yeah, no, it's kind of boring. Just like the direction politics is going. Yeah. It's kind of scary because Charlie was just murdered a couple months ago, and I'm like, boredom, I don't know if it's the right word, but what like the sentiment I constantly hear from people is, I've already heard this. Yeah. Yep. It's like, how many times are you going to talk about Venezuela? How many times are you going to talk about Afghanistan? You're going to talk about Ukraine. You're going to talk about sex changes for kids. Like, we've got this story where the Republicans passed a bill banning it, and what's probably going to happen is the Senate's going to shoot it down for some stupid, arbitrary reason, and then we're never going to do anything because they're the Washington Generals. And so I go to regular people, and they're like, I literally just don't care. Yeah. I can't bring myself to click on a video telling me something I've heard 50 million times.
Right. And people should be bored of politics because things are going so well, and they just trust that the bureaucrats generally have their wits about them. They shouldn't be bored because of like complacency from Republicans, and that's exactly what's going on here. They're saying, why would I bother engaging? Because it doesn't feel like the national GOP is getting anything done. So what's the point of being tapped in? Because when I invest all this time and energy into being tapped in, doesn't really reap any rewards, especially when Trump's on the ballot.
Well, we got to start getting interested because, I mean, shit gets weird when you stop paying attention, Maybe I'm saying the wrong number. Somebody can look this up, but 282 13-year-olds were given sex changes in this country.
That's crazy.
That's retarded.
Hey, man, that's not fun. No. You know what I mean? Like when we were talking about Olivia Nuzzi blowing up RFK's butt, we were laughing. Now it's all dark and I feel bad.
Yeah. There's not much you can riff on.
I'm getting sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not much you can riff on. There's nothing funny about it.
You can't go to an open mic and be like, how about these child sex changes? Jeez, tough crowd.
Where do they put the penises? Like,
what's with this woke mob?
That's the thing that the liberals have always been really good at, and that's why they always do that comedy version of news,
right? Yeah,
because they know news is boring. And we're sitting here going like, "Well, I doth protest. This tax policy is just too high." And then Ian says, "Well, I don't know, man. Taxes. It's so boring." Now it matters in these political years when people are genuinely worried about their health care. They're worried about gun violence or whatever. Right now, everybody's tired. We're in an off year. It's the holidays. All I want to do is wake up on Christmas Eve and eat French toast sticks, and I can't because the gluten messes me up. You got to understand how angry that makes me. It's like living in a country full of sand and it's in your balls the whole time. It's just a constant irritation. No, I think right now people are looking to relax and be entertained, and I think what the left does well, it makes people retarded. But they like John Oliver famously has that formula for how he does jokes, where it's like he says news thing and then for no reason mentions Little Timothy or current year. And it's like, I don't know if you guys ever saw that episode of King of the Hill. Bobby's trying to tell jokes on the PA, but nobody will laugh. Right. And Peggy's like, it's because people are retarded. So she gets a cowbell and she's like, whenever the joke's done, just bang the cowbell and yell. And then everyone will laugh because you're telling them to laugh. And it worked. And it's funny because Mike Judge, he gets it. That's like basically how it works.
Oh yeah, you try to watch.
Can I add a laugh track button to this
I
real
was gonna
quick?
say, have you ever seen where they like take the laugh track out of Seinfeld and then you watch it and you're like, it's all right.
No, it's actually kind of offensive.
Yeah.
Because like Jerry will walk in and go, George.
And there's no laughing.
No, just pause. Just a pause for 3 seconds.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
like, I don't understand. Why did he just yell at his friend and just sit there?
They were in front of a live studio audience. Seinfeld was, but Friends.
Yeah,
Friends,
make
they pulled
everyone
the sign.
zip it. Yeah, Seinfeld with no laugh. They're like, Jerry, George, my cat just died, and then no one laughs.
You
And
catch
you're
But
like,
they
dry run
pause
every
for
once
like
in a
3
while.
seconds to just stare at him. And it's like, it's kind of weird, guys.
yeah, it's just like the weirdest.
To let the
Say
crowd
something.
cheer.
Like when they walk in and everyone applauds and he's just standing there for like 5 seconds.
All right, let's get even more depressed. We got news for you from The
do it.
Guardian. Police are now investigating links between the Brown shooting and the killing of the MIT professor. Yo, this is actually really crazy. This MIT professor was a fusion scientist. Fusion energy,
Oh, yes.
bro. Do you guys understand what this means?
No, explain.
All right, so we recently got fusion ignition. This is a few years ago, which means like a miniature sun. That's very reductive into what is actually happening. But this is the point at which they could sustain a fusion reaction. This means they can produce a ridiculous amount of energy for almost nothing.
Oh, wow.
Basically, gasoline on crack. Just boom. And this guy was researching it. If we can figure out how to get energy out of the system, dude, it's going to make your energy costs like pennies on the dollar.
Right.
And so when you get a guy who's one of the lead researchers working at MIT getting shot multiple times in his own home in the chest, the first thing everybody thinks is like, yo, did homie have a breakthrough in fusion energy that was going to shut down the oil industry? So they took him out.
Hey, man. Exxon sent that hit. That's crazy.
Well, if these two are linked, I know it kind of downplays a bit of the conspiracy, but if these two are linked, that to me tells me this is a schizophrenic. This is someone that just spends way too much time online. He gets radicalized about Republicans and conservatives. If it's true, like his motive for shooting this woman. And then with this is just someone that was a For You page American. They spent way too much time online.
Israel, for no reason, claimed it may be Iran. I'm not kidding.
They're talking about investigating whether it was Iran.
Yeah, and they're
or not,
like, we have no reason to believe it was, and we're not suggesting it was, but we are investigating that it was.
Look
and I'm
over
just
here.
like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, because
we're
the
talking about
U.S. and
reporting
Israel
it.
went after their nuclear program, and they're going to return the favor.
No, because it
to
said
our
because the
nuclear
professor
program.
recently said pro-Israel things, and I'm like, dude, shut up. However, there was a really funny bit. I don't know if you guys saw it from that comedian. I forgot. I didn't get his name, so sorry, brother. But it was a fake press conference where he said, "Please stop referring to the shooter at Brown University as the Brown shooter. We don't need to add racism to an already tragic event."
Do you know how big of a problem it is? So you know, like in your email, how you'll get like these offers for personalized T-shirts, and they'll take your last name and they'll put that on there. I always get like advertisements. It's T-shirt. It's just it's a brown thing. You wouldn't understand. Like, one just said brown energy on it, like it's giving brown energy. I'm like,
Bro,
I hope I'm not.
you should get those shirts.
Brown and so it's
And then
giving
walk
some
around
brown
like
energy.
Harlem or something.
Stop
I
showering.
have a simple question. Where was the campus police?
Not around.
Yeah, you know, they have
I mean,
guns
President
and-
Trump himself said, like, what's the deal with the security camera
Yeah, that's
situation?
crazy.
My favorite thing in this, did you guys see this picture right here where the feds, there's like 8 guys,
Looking
and
around
they're
the
just
ground.
kicking the snow? And it's like,
What's this?
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when you're at work and your boss is walking down the hall and you immediately just start pretending like you're typing something and you're playing Tetris or whatever.
As a Timcast employee, I can't relate to that. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Tate's just always at the grind. You know what I mean? Every time I see him, he's just working really hard.
So true.
You know? Isn't that crazy? I've never seen him
crazy.
slacking off.
On
crazy.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Finding stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finding
So
stories.
true.
I was thinking yesterday if this could be connected to the oil industry trying to kill this guy so that but fusion, it doesn't produce fuel. It like fuel are things you can pick up and carry around. So you got petroleum, you got carbon, hydrogen, and plutonium.
Right.
If somehow this fusion program was helping them get to plutonium fuel or hydrogen, I mean,
No, Ian, you
It would-
misunderstand. Petroleum becomes fuel. We get energy out of that. We get a lot of energy. It's really good. Nuclear is a little bit better. Fusion would be the biggest. It would make energy very, very cheap.
but you can't carry it around with you. Like you can't fuel. You can
No,
take,
but
you
it can power homes in the grid. That's
on
the
a
point.
grid. On a grid.
So we can right now. I think half the grid is coal. You know?
it
least,
might be-
yeah.
Powered by Santa's hard work.
You know, it's just. I mean, why theorize conspiracy? I was trying to read
I know
about
where
like,
this is
what
going.
happened.
I know where this is going. He's going to start saying something like they should be focused on graphene.
Who should be focused on
fuel
graphene?
cells with graphene lattice batteries. Oh, okay, we get it.
No, I'll hold back. It's tragic. This
Finally,
is absolutely
finally.
tragic.
Yeah, it
47-year-old quantum physicist or whatever he was, fusion
Plasma
scientist.
scientist. Yeah.
I don't know.
Now the crazy story about this, I guess, it seems like they're not doing their jobs, and it's funny because I'm getting a lot of people are complaining because I said Dan Bongino did the best he could, and he's quitting. I assume you guys talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like the idea that Dan Bongino got there, I was like, all right, guys, now I'm going to be evil. I was like, yeah, that didn't happen.
Right.
Dan Bongino did not get hired by the FBI and say, now I'm going to pretend to do as much as I can while going to the beach and eating gingerbread.
Yeah.
No, he probably tried as hard as he could, and he couldn't do anything because the machine is crooked.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, I'm quitting after 8 months. What's the point?
I made the point on the Noon Live that him being in the FBI and now stepping back into the podcast space probably will be of more value to us than if he just
It
continued.
also
being
scares
deputy
the shit
director.
out of me, though.
I think so.
Like, dude, if not Dan Bongino, then who? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
that's a very salient question. Yeah.
he gets in there, gets nothing done. To be fair, Cash and Dan did a lot of street level policing, which is good. But look at this, these FBI guys walking around kicking snow.
Right.
What is this?
Well, and if you are to believe the Axios reporting, he also did not see eye to eye with Bondi on a lot of things. So it's even up for debate if there was even cohesion with the Trump people, let alone the deep entrenched apparatus within the FBI itself.
I gotta say, right? Because we were just talking about like the AmFest stuff. This reporter was asking me like, what's the future going to look like in the political space? And I said, Democrats have a track record of being lunatics, so I'm not going to vote for them. But Republicans going like neocon round, I'm not going to vote for them. So I honestly don't know. But what I can say is, Trump as a person, I like what he's done. B minus, C plus, except for the people he hires.
Right.
First time around, he hires a bunch of deep state garbage. Second time, he hires a bunch of old women with plastic surgery. I'm not trying to be a dick to the old ladies with plastic surgery. I'm making a statement of fact, not a derisive one. It is literally older women that he's largely given these positions to, and they've got a lot of plastic surgery. And so I'm questioning whether or not could there have been better choices.
For sure.
I think everyone agrees that he could have made better choices. And we ragged on him the first time for doing this. And he's maybe his idea now was like, I'll just get people who are going to do what I tell them to do.
Like Carolyn Levitt, he's like, look at her pretty. Did he say pretty face? Look at those lips. And it's like, that's what he wants is the
And
spectacle.
then Vanity Fair posted that picture of all their like injection sites or whatever.
Yeah. Was Dan was up in as high res as they can to make her look bad.
I think that was Trump's strategies. He wanted people that were loyalists that could simultaneously get approved by the Senate. Because that's the limiting principle in all of this is that if you got like these super base nominees, they would get shot down.
Matt Gaetz.
The reason you can push someone like Dan Bongino probably would have gotten held up in the Senate, but the deputy director is just directly appointed by the president. He doesn't need to be approved by Senate.
I kind of feel like I'm bored of all this as well for the same reasons most people are. And we have to just make fun of it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we're not laughing, we're gonna go and we're gonna get depressed. I mean this sincerely. Like earlier we were making these jokes about Olivia Nuzzi blowing up RFK's butt and him enjoying it, and it's funny, and we're all laughing, and that kind of brings the joy back to being in talking about these things because we've been so serious for so long. It's so depressing.
When you're young, it's kind of cool to be an activist, an anti-establishment activist. Like, yeah, down with whatever that is. But as you get older, you kind of got to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Or stop complaining, or you're just going to be angry and miserable complaining your whole life.
For sure.
Well, the reason why the 2024 campaign from Trump was so different feeling was because he brought in a lot of these, and the coalition expanded to bring in a lot of these comedians, these entertainers, and these sorts of things, and it gave some energy to a Republican candidate that's never been there. Not even really in 2016. 2016 was mostly organic from the people, but the people in the Trump orbit were still kind of these stodgy, conventional Republicans. 2024, you saw the coalition expand because of Trump's character in a lot of ways, because he just invites those types of people, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, it had a certain flavor to it that was really distinct, and it was actually the opposite problem for Kamala. She had all these orbiters who were just like super serious. Oh, Trump's like Hitler 2.0, and it's like, I'm going to go with the people that are having fun.
I think part of the reason why Trump attracted so many people in 24 is because so many people were disillusioned by COVID, right?
That as well.
The 4 years that Biden was in office, people really saw how dishonest the government had been, and arguably Trump might be a little bit responsible for that because he didn't fire Fauci early or late in his last year and stuff. But there were so many people that once it kind of came out that social distancing was BS, wearing a mask was BS. All these things came out, and people were like, well, I just don't trust the government. I don't trust the Democrats because they're the ones that are in power. So I think a lot of people, once they started to be able to discuss these things, once they saw the rollback of the censorship that was going on YouTube and stuff, they started to say, well, I don't want the guys that were doing that, and Musk buying Twitter and changing it to X, that was also a huge issue for people. And so once that was kind of established in the public zeitgeist, then they were like, well, we can't support the Democrats. And even still, there were still a lot of people that voted for Kamala Harris, even though she was, had 3 months and was arguably the worst candidate the Democrats have ever produced.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think an underrated aspect of all this is what you said is Elon buying Twitter was a massive game changer, because it didn't just affect Twitter. Is all of these other social media platforms had to react because they didn't want to get lapped by X. If everyone that was getting banned from all these sites who were just normal people rushed into X, it would have put them out of business, especially because X was like aggressive with video and these sorts of things. So everyone, we always discuss, on the show, like, oh, if you go on Instagram Reels, you're going to see some really wild stuff. And the reason for that is because Meta had to roll back a lot of their draconian moderation in reaction to X's new policy.
Let's jump to this story. We have this from 19thnews.org, and I would be in favor of shutting down the 19thnews.org. No, it's a very obviously like a feminist news blog, but they say House Republicans advance sweeping anti-trans bills ahead of holiday break. One bill would jail doctors who prescribe gender-affirming care to trans youth. Another would block Medicaid dollars from funding that care. And then we have this. RFK Jr. from also 19th News announces new rules targeting care for transgender youth. If approved, the proposed federal regulation would dramatically impact an already challenging landscape. To put it simply, they're saying no more sex changes for kids. And Democrats are in favor of this. And so I'm just, look, the Democrats have been insane for a long time. I feel like the Republican Party is going to move into this like DeSantis-esque neocon kind of territory. Maybe Dan Bongino coming back to this space can be a more unifying voice for the people who don't want to vote for Democrats. But outside, like we obviously like we can talk about the ban on child sections and all that. I'm just wondering what you guys think is going to happen to the political parties in this country, because there are a lot of people that no longer fit into the traditional Democrat or Republican space.
Well, I think that's why you're seeing the knife fight within the Republican Party right now. You're seeing, I think...
Yeah, they're saying get out.
Right. Well, and I think you're seeing the neocons, they're much more clever this time. They've crafted their message in a way that's much more appealing to the MAGA base. And that's why they're trying to poison the well ahead of time for J.D. Vance, where you have kind of a double-pronged attack, because you have these neocons, and then you also have these sort of dissident right-wing figures. But the neocon strategy, this is at least what it looks like to me, you guys may disagree, is that the reason that they're sort of calling everyone groypers all of a sudden, even if you have nothing to do with Nick Fuentes' politics, is because they want to set the stage for 28 to be able to label someone like J.D. Vance a groyper.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a reheated version of like the alt-right, where it was like if you just vaguely disagreed with Jeb Bush, you were a part of the alt-right, and even if you had nothing to do with these alt-right figures. That looks to me to be the play they're setting back up, and that's how the neocons are going to wrestle control of the party back.
Please clap.
They're using
so
the
bad.
term patriot too. They're going to use that heavily and be like, "Are you not a patriot? Well, what kind of patriot are you?" And that'll be like propaganda to get people to be like, "You don't like that we're going to bomb Venezuela? Are you not a patriot?"
Well, see, I feel like the left has already tried to make that phrase toxic. Like they've used that as a phrase, and you see a lot of people taking, like we're taking it back and starting to like, the way that Tate uses it. But like the left has really put a lot of effort into saying, using the phrase patriot, especially after after January 6th, they were saying patriot groups, and they were saying if you're a patriot, that's actually a right wing extremist.
But in some ways, I'm seeing the left actually try to like retcon American patriotism in a lot of ways. The example I point to is with the LA riots earlier this year. Is initially the rioters were just flying Mexican flag because they were making it very obvious that they were just Mexican nationalists, whether or not they were born in the United States. And what happened is you saw a lot of these figures kind of in this Ezra Klein sphere saying like, hey, this looks terrible optically. You guys need to start wearing American flag shirts, flying American flags, so you can like, it'll pass the sniff test for right wingers.
Yeah.
And that's, so I think the left's actually sort of wised up to this in some senses. They're actually trying to portray themselves as those standing for American values. Like you noticed last night with Brian Shapiro, is if I had any critique of our current immigration system or the previous immigration system, he would say, that's un-American, that's anti-American. And he would actually have no legitimacy from history, but he would say that because it just sounds bad. And for a right winger that doesn't know anything about politics, they go, "Oh wow, is this guy a communist?"
Yeah.
I was talking to these guys the other day, and they were asking me about the show, and I said, "What's the best way to describe the show?" I don't know. We say stuff like eschatology or something, and they're like, "Okay, I would never watch that."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Right." You know, it's like we're gonna use big words, and this is the right's problem. They're very serious, they're very attuned and very smart, and it works for smart people. But average people, if they can't understand what you're saying, it's not a question of interest or disinterest; it's disconnect.
I agree.
I think the right's issue is that they're taking themselves seriously. These neocons, their aesthetic is serious in a very LinkedIn way, rather than like a traditional form of like high culture and these sorts of things. And I think the American people would be open to sort of aesthetics that are elevating to the soul. Again, that sort of uplift you in many ways. I think the issue is that all they wear, the reason they're wearing this suit and tie is because that's what they see on LinkedIn. That's what they see in the Fortune 500.
You know what Crowder's so good? Because he does comedy.
Yeah.
And I think that's and it's unfortunate that he's kind of on this island. And I think the same thing is true for us. But the moderate to right space is largely just an island. Crowder is very funny. He shows viral clips, and then they make fun of those viral clips, so it's entertaining for a regular person. Mm-hmm. And then he introduces you to these more complex ideas and debates. It works amazingly well. The unfortunate thing is that he's on an island, and the movement to push back against these lunatic Democrats largely does not include people like him. So one thing we have to do is be substantially more entertaining.
I agree. Yeah. And I think the problem is, they need a better understanding of existentialism. The common American now is more concerned with being able to express their individuality and be more expressive and creative. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you have to tie ideas into the fact that, hey, this guy wants to be a magician, but he's a Republican. Let me figure out a way to make him feel at home and not like a weirdo. You know what I mean? So
it's crazy the flack that James O'Keefe would get from conservatives because he likes moonwalking.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you want him to moonwalk.
Yeah.
Like we did an event on stage, and where were we? It was like in New York, and James O'Keefe just in the middle of the room pushes everybody aside, has moonwalking, and I was like, this is hilarious.
Mm-hmm. That's a whistle blow too. That's a dog whistle.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, sure.
No,
vote for me, black guys, and moonwalking. Yeah.
Well, he's not running for office. But what do we look? With all due respect to AmFest, I'm not trying to be a dick.
Right.
But it's going to be a bunch of just dudes in suits.
Yeah, you need some eccentricity. I mean, that's. I mean, someone like Milo. That's why he's so popular among other things. Is because again, he's delivering ideas in a package that's like hard to look away from. I mean, that's even kind of been Fuentes' secret sauce. The majority of people that are interacting with his content online aren't even really tracking with what his politics are, that his policies that he's proposing or any sort of thing. They just see the clip and go, that's pretty funny.
Right. Yeah.
And then they identify as a groyper. And it's because that's the most effective way to communicate an idea is through something that's compelling, that's funny, etc.
He is surprisingly funny.
Yeah.
But like, I don't watch his content, but I've seen the clips where he's got this kind of like dry, sarcastic humor that kind of hits when there was something that came up with like Piers Morgan asked him about black people being in jail.
Right.
And he tried framing it as though it was a blanket statement that Nick wants just for being black, and he goes, yeah, the murderers. And it's like, and then he was like, but you're saying black people, and he's like, the ones that kill people.
Yeah.
And he like kind of walked him in. I don't know, people were saying he kind of walked Piers into it because Piers took the bait from the clips, not realizing that his point was he didn't care about your race. If you're a murderer, you go to jail.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's because Fuentes is able to flip flop from irony into like post irony on the turn of a heel. And Piers Morgan is a super serious suit-wearing establishment crony, and so he is not prepared whatsoever to handle someone like that. So he comes on, and all Piers is doing is just taking whatever he says at face value, not realizing that Fuentes just kind of sees him as like a character, and he doesn't even view Piers as like a person. He views him as like a face of an entire ideological framework.
It was sad that Jon Stewart kind of went nuts.
Yeah.
But, he disappeared for a long time. I've always been a big fan of Jon Stewart, and then he retires. And then when he came back, he sounded like a lunatic because he was no longer aligned with the liberals at first. You know, he went on Colbert and he was just like, the coronavirus lab where the virus just appears across the street. And we say that can't be related. And then Colbert desperately trying to be like, well, maybe not. I don't know. Jon Stewart comes back into politics expecting to be his traditional liberal comedic self, pointing out obvious things like there's the Wuhan Institute for Coronavirus Research a block away from where the virus emerged. And they were telling him he was wrong. But he fell in line.
Yeah,
he quickly fell in line and started blaming white people for stuff.
Because like Jon Stewart's issue was he was still shadow boxing. He still is shadow boxing against opponents that would have been relevant in like the 90s.
Right.
So he still views like WASPs and like the church as primary opponents to his ideology when these haven't really been like, you know, formidable opponents in 30, 40 years. Right. So he's really just shadow boxing now against, this is like, you see the same thing in the UK. Like Kneecap's a great example where they're like always railing on like the queen or the king because they view them as like they're still stuck in this old framework where these were viable political vehicles.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, these people haven't been relevant in 40, 50 years. How about you use your comedy, use your edgy self to address the actual things you can't, because if you ask Kneecap to like address like Islamic immigration to Ireland, they would freeze up. And it's like, yeah, because that's actually something that would challenge the establishment in a meaningful way. So it's people like that, like Jon Stewart in his current iteration, are trying to challenge an establishment that isn't established anymore, and they don't want to challenge the current establishment.
And you brought up Kneecap, and I mentioned this too. Like the only thing that Kneecap disagrees with the Royals about is whether or not there should be Royals, right? All of the opinions that Kneecap has are the same opinions that the Royals have now. They're very much, they're all talking about, they're all pro-Palestine. They're all very much left-leaning and progressive in their politics. Mm-hmm. Only difference is, well, we're the Royals and you're not.
Yeah, they act like the Royals are still tormenting Ireland as if that has like any relevance whatsoever in 2025. The Royals don't have a grasp on their own country, let alone Ireland.
Yeah, no. It's
so yeah, that's what it frustrates me tremendously. People on the left that again are just shadow boxing. You're not challenging the establishment in any meaningful way. Maybe develop an argument that will catch you some flack, and then that's an indication that maybe you're pushing in the right direction.
Yeah. If you're not catching some kind of flack, if you're not catching it from someone, then you're certainly not saying anything in any way controversial.
No, well, you made fun of Trump, dude. How are you going to get away with it? He's going to put you in jail. He's a fascist, and then nothing happens because
or Trump laughs.
Yeah, or Trump laughs.
Pretty good.
Yeah. J.D. Vance makes it his Halloween costume. It's like, hello.
Or he tells Mom Donnie, it's okay, you can call me a fascist.
We got big news. Big news. We got this from Fact Post. It's a short clip, but listen to this.
In the fall, we will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring the greatest high school athletes, one young man and one young woman from each state and territory. But I promise there will, in the fall.
He promises that they will be brought into a large arena near D.C. where they will all have to fight to the death, and the winner will be the victor. May the odds be ever in your favor.
If it's truly hand-to-hand combat, I think Arkansas runs the table. There's no question.
It's American Warrior, man.
I think maybe Arkansas, maybe Mississippi.
Which state take? No, I don't know, man. Chicago.
Well,
if you can't bring firearms in there, and then, again, there'll probably be no substances in there, so they'll fall apart. They'll probably just kill themselves.
So there's no sport. They haven't said a sport.
I don't know. Is this a real thing?
I think
it's going to be like American Gladiators, where you can have like the foam missiles they'll shoot at you to run down the.
If it truly is like a variety of sports, I tweeted this earlier, is that your best odds, if you're just like not an athletic person but you want to be on the national spotlight, you should be arranging your affairs to move to like American Samoa, because territories are included. American Samoa, the Northern Mariana Islands, these are places with like 30,000 people. Right. So if you move there right now, you're not going to have any competition. Just pick an obscure sport, you'll be on TV, you'll meet the president.
Samoans are pretty big and athletic. I don't know.
He said territories. So yeah, you got some big Samoans, but I'm gonna go with Washington, because there's a lot of Asians in Washington.
Oh yeah.
And if you're saying no weapons allowed, then I'm gonna make the generalized assumption that my people are naturally good at martial arts.
I'm going to Guam.
There you go.
Yeah. No Meso-Indian could beat me in a sport. So
like Washington just has to find the 2 high school students who can kill like the best.
Right.
Oh yeah, if it's a kill off, then like Illinois is gonna run the table. If it's no holds barred, yeah, I'm going with Illinois. Yeah.
This actually is pretty crazy to think, because I mean, obviously the killing makes it comedic in that it's so over the top. Obviously, we're not laughing at people dying, but it literally is very Hunger Games-esque to be like the Patriot Games, where 2 kids from every state are brought to the Capitol to do
losers
get
will
out.
have a dinner with me at the Capitol.
The winner's state will receive maximum federal funding for the next calendar
This
year.
feels like the 36 Olympics. You know what I mean?
That's what whoever wins, he won't deploy ICE into that state for the year.
There you go. There you go. Amnesty for everybody in your state if you win.
Yeah,
We were just talking about how great youth sports are, though. This is a big, big, big thing we got to get going again. If you want kids to have healthy sex lives and be like aggressive, adult males that pursue women, have families, like some young sports will really get you normalized.
Yeah, kids having sex lives is incredible. I mean,
Hey, look.
what's a kid technically?
We've talked about how there's no young people. Like there's a population collapse underway. Gen Alpha is only 42 million.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can't reverse that because you can't go back in time.
Yeah.
We're missing 42 million people, and Trump doesn't want to import them. He wants to deport the ones that came illegally. The Democrats want to import them. So I'm wondering if invading Venezuela is just like, listen, we don't have the labor, but we can steal the energy. Right? We'll just go. We put Venezuela back on the oil market and pump all their oil in the system, and it's going to bolster our capabilities without having the same labor class. We're gonna have something to sell to make money on. And then I bring this up in this context because Trump's vision of bringing America back to where it used to be, baseball and apple pie, it's going to need people. And so that means this is a 40-year plan. Right. Stealing oil and taking over, it's like Venezuela's close. They got a lot of oil. We could take that oil.
Well, that's what I mean. I've proposed that I think the United States should take sort of a page from these countries that do think in these long-term have these long-term strategies where they do have these worker programs where you literally come, you have 3 years in the country, you can't bring your family, can't bring your wife, you're literally here to work, help us build our stadiums for a World Cup or whatever, and then you get out and you cannot come back, not even as a tourist. And I think that's kind of a win-win is for some of these massive mega projects that we need to do in these countries, and you do have to keep labor costs low, that could be a viable option because as the population retracts, there's going to be a higher demand on labor. And I do think that potentially we could allocate our labor into more viable industries. And in turn, we could keep labor costs cheap for like construction of mega projects by taking maybe like a UAE strategy, perhaps.
We were talking about doing a public works project. Andrew actually brought it up, like a roads project. It's been a while since we've done an American public works project that I know of. But if we, revitalize our roads across the country with like 21st century materials, that'd be freaking badass. But you're saying import people?
Listen, bro. Finish your thought.
Import workers for the project and then they leave when they're done. Was that what you were saying? Is like it's a temporary work visa?
It's just a simple works program for you bring them in, they get out, they can't come back. That's much more viable than like currently where you just keep illegal immigrants on the book and just like hope no one notices.
I want to explain to you the problem with communism, Ian.
Please. It's impossible
Public
to do.
Works, like this idea of us just spending money as a country and be like, we've decided we're going to allocate an obscene amount of money in this one direction.
Yeah.
I'll give you a couple examples of the problems here and why it's got to be more meritocratic than that. Not to literally say public works is communism, right? Do you guys remember that viral video where they were like, what if all of our roads were solar panels? And they were like, there's 846,000 square miles of road across this country. And then it showed like this graphic where it was like, if we made our roads solar panels, it would be a massive grid generating electricity while we drove right on top of it.
That's why we got to keep the weed out of everything.
Exactly. And do you guys know what happened when they tried it?
What?
So first it went viral and everyone's like, it snowed. This is amazing. They were like, the dirt on the road obstructed the light and it generated no electricity.
Right.
And then the plates got scratched and it refracted light, and they became useless in the trials that they did. Or there was that other video that went super viral where it was like, why can't cell phones be modular? And then it showed like a base phone, and it was like, maybe you want a camera, and a big camera clicks on. It's like, maybe you want a small battery clicks on. And then Google bought it, and then the project died right away. And all the hippies got mad, and they were like, Google bought it and killed it because they didn't want to protect the environment. Because if people had modular phones, if the camera broke, you could swap the camera module out for a new camera module, and you'd have the same phone forever. And the real reason was that it's impossible. Right. The real reason is that it was a made-up thing online that wasn't possible to do, and it was this gigantic, bulky piece of trash with low battery power that nobody wanted.
Right.
That's what happens.
To your point about labor shortage, I mean, we had the same problem, and a thing called slavery happened right after. But England during that time, they tried to do things to combat free labor, like emptying the streets of all the vagrants and homeless and shipping them to America when we were short of labor. So, I mean, I think the answer to the labor shortage is we have buck farms called prisons. So if we need more citizens, we should just let women into prisons and open the cells and let nature take its course at some point. I mean, because that's pretty much what we did in the past. I know it sounds crazy, but so
Government-sponsored conjugal visits is what you're proposing.
hire more female prison guards, and then nature will take its course. That seems to be a phenomenon that happens a little bit. The female prison guards end up pregnant with inmates' children.
Right.
It's getting crazy out there.
Get somewhere where the camera doesn't look, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, nature takes its course.
Imagine raising a baby in a cell, though. That's crazy too.
Well, I mean, if she's free, then you just got to provide state funding for the child, I guess.
I mean, people do it in studio apartments. New York City. I mean,
with roommates,
and actually crazier neighbors. So yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that would actually work.
No, it wouldn't work. But I mean,
it's interesting. This is what we're here for. We're here to percolate with these ideas. Let them throw them out.
Well, next this 2026 is going to be bonkers, dude.
It's going to be busy.
The 250th. We're going to have the Patriot Games. Aren't we having some massive festival in DC or something?
Yeah, well, there's the 250th
and also
anniversary.
The World Cup's going to be here this summer. I mean, the world's biggest event all across the United States.
The World Cup's happening all over the U.S.
Yeah, the World Cup's always throughout the country. It's played in, and the final will be in New Jersey at MetLife.
And this is what sport?
Football.
I've never heard. I have no idea what that is.
Football.
It's some commie gabagool. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's some garbage.
It's a sport for people that can only afford a ball.
Brown energy. I'll wear it for the World Cup. They'll love it.
It was funny how The Simpsons made fun of soccer, where the announcer was just saying like, he goes left, he goes back, he goes back and forth, he goes back and forth, and that's like all he was saying, and they were kind of like, okay.
I let my hand slip. I let my card show this morning on the live show, as I do actually like soccer quite a bit.
That's a lie.
It's very unfortunate.
Soccer.
Yeah.
I used to play.
Deport.
Oh yeah, I was a backup fullback for I can't name the
That's
school.
not a real position.
Oh, wow.
The backup's not a real position. That's why I was a backup. But
there you go.
I was a riding the pine, as they say.
I can't stand soccer. Sounds like domestic violence soccer.
That's right. That's it's patriarchy, and we should say away with it.
Away with soccer.
No, I mean I'm actually stoked. It means it's going to be a lot of tourists coming in, a lot of money coming into the United States.
It's the joke is like all these Europeans used to riding public transportation when they get dropped off in DFW, and they have to figure out how to get to the stadium.
Bro, what's really gonna be crazy is if it's all over the country, these tourists are gonna come in from places like Europe or whatever, and they're gonna get robbed.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Can you imagine they're coming from like beautiful Paris or Rome, and they get dropped in Kansas City?
Is that a joke? Beautiful Paris?
Well,
or Rome?
In Europe, you have to worry about.
I'm just saying these really like whatever, and then they get dropped in like Kansas City, just get robbed right away.
Well, with a gun.
They have to download Uber. They pull their phone out. The phone gets robbed right away.
You want to hear a joke?
I would love to hear it. That's what we're here for.
How do you say hello in Paris?
Salam alaikum.
Yes, you got it.
You know, the sad thing is I went to Paris, and it's true. Yeah. It's actually very true. It's very unfortunate.
There's the 250th anniversary of the U.S. too. That's going to be a big deal.
I'm gonna buy a bunch of fireworks, and I'm gonna blow them up.
Yeah.
What you got to do is those balloons that have the numbers is just gobble up all the 250 numbers.
I got an idea. We should get a bunch of balloons, like 100 of them, on really long strings, and launch bottle rockets at them.
Ooh.
Is there?
I think they tried that with Hamas.
I'm going to phrase this very carefully because we have a very large property with lots of open space.
Right.
And we will seek the permits to do this first, YouTube. But we'll fill the balloons up with helium and butane.
Butane. Wow.
I don't know if it'll be able to lift it though.
I don't know, Ian. This would be a question for you. Does butane have?
I defer to ChatGPT on this one. Let's find out.
Okay, hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
Ooh,
okay.
Hydrogen balloons.
Hydrogen.
And then we launch bottle rockets at them.
Right.
Oh wow.
That'd be cool, right?
That'd be serious. Cool. That could save a lot of money at the Venezuela operations. Just send it over there. Just go to Miami and just float it.
Launch 1 million hydrogen balloons into the air.
It's like, we accidentally blew Guyana off the map. Whoops.
What about shotguns with dragon's breath?
You forget to carry a one. Argentina's gone. Like,
have you guys ever seen Dragon's Breath shotgun?
Shotgun shells shooting hydrogen full balloons.
What is going on?
Do you not know about Dragon's Breath?
No, I don't know anything.
Semi-automatic Dragon's Breath video.
There we go.
It's magnesium shards.
Oh no!
Is it going to load?
Yeah.
Look at this, Mossberg.
Can this gun cycle this ammo?
Yeah, it can. There you go. That's
It's like a
what I'm
GTA
talking
cheat
about.
code.
And it jammed.
Woo!
Cycling.
There we go.
How do you even, like, if you're his neighbor, what do you even say? It's the
Nothing.
What do you-
my
you
neighbor's.
don't-
You don't say anything.
No, of course you do. You say, brother, can I come over? I'll bring
Yeah.
the beer.
Yeah, real. Yeah. It's like, officer, he's setting off, I think, nuclear bombs in his backyard.
Yeah.
Dragon's breath.
I'm in on this.
Yeah, I would like
What is it, like shards of magnesium,
two,
right?
please. I'll take
It's birdshot with magnesium in it. So
Can you imagine someone breaks in your house and that's what you use for self-defense?
I mean, look, dude, it's gonna scare his friends if they're not
I've
inside
got,
yet.
These are what are they? Exotic shells, right?
Yeah.
I bought a pack of a bunch of exotic shells, and what are they called? Like flechette?
There's flechettes.
The
There's
flechette is how it is. They're all it's a bunch of blades, right?
Yep.
It's,
Yep.
Yeah, it's a shotgun shell full of blades.
they have what they call sabos, which is a shotgun shell with it's basically a needle. It's like just a dart. It's got in the shotgun shell, and you shoot it, and there's a plastic.
Well, the
piece that falls
sabo is
away.
when it falls away, right?
Yep, the plastic piece falls away, and you got basically it's shooting a little dart. Shotguns are cool, man.
Dude, the
Shotguns
exotic
got all
ones are
kinds of
crazy.
cool stuff.
I got one of them that's it's literally a bunch of needles.
Yep.
And when you shoot it, it's just a bunch of spikes. Like basically you could put anything in a shotgun shell and just let it rip.
What they call a blunderbuss back in the day. You just shove a bunch of crap into it, and it's just a big long tube.
Like forks.
I mean forks, but they would put shards of broken glass.
Junk
and
mail.
just,
Oh,
I used to be able to
kidding.
reutilize my
Like
junk
this-
mail.
Pirates
Junk mail
used to
is
do
crazy.
that.
Yeah, just hit him with some Kohl's cash.
Expired credit cards.
Yeah.
That's right.
I got hit with the water bill last
You
night.
shove rocks in there.
Yeah.
So
know?
anyway, yeah, good point. We should take a bunch of balloons full of hydrogen. We'll get the permitting for this.
Yes.
And then we hang them up all over and blast them with dragon's breath.
It'd be sick.
This will impress the Europeans.
No, it'll terrify them.
Yeah, this actually might. Yeah, as soon as the World Cup's over, it's like, get out of here.
It will leave an
I
impression.
got a joke for you. I got a joke for you. What does a person in Paris say when they're very shocked?
I don't know.
Allahu Akbar.
There we go. There we go.
You're supposed to say sacre bleu.
Yeah, and with the new the newcomers in France, I don't think they'll be put off to the explosions. They'll be like, oh, this is very familiar to me. This is
People
very,
are like, I thought that's why I left the Middle East.
yeah, literally.
I thought I got away from
It's
this
like
stuff.
that meme where it's the Middle Eastern guy and woman, and there's a drone strike happening, and he's like, they say the next one will be fired by a woman, and they're like, and the woman goes, can you imagine being a part of history?
I know.
It's really beautiful. when
So
you think about it.
progressive.
It's very beautiful.
You know.
Well, speaking of all that, we've got this story from Newsweek. H-1Bs to be completely banned under Republican proposal.
Let's go.
A Republican congresswoman has called for a total ban on H-1B temporary visa program, part of the wider effort to go after the immigration system. Texas Rep. Beth Van Dyne, is that how you pronounce it? Told conservative commentator Benny Johnson that politicians had failed to consider the unintended consequences of immigration programs like H-1B. That H-1B visa program has got to either stop right now until we understand the amount of just how it's being taken advantage of or redone, so it doesn't exist. It cannot continue in the way it has. Newsweek contacted Van Dyne outside of regular office hours. Why? Why did they put that in there? Like, we called her when we knew she wasn't around. Okay, so you didn't actually try. What do you guys say? For or against?
For. Yeah. I mean, like, this is the whole thing is this is not a program you can reform. It's just clearly been demonstrated that people will take advantage of it. I mean, it's been like 90% of H-1B visas went to India. So this is just not something that can be reformed at this point. And then you have to ask the question, these employers cannot use it responsibly either. We saw, obviously, back when this sort of discourse kicked off, that people were using it for like janitor gigs and whatnot. So it's like, if the corporations can't be trusted and the issuing office can't be trusted, just scrap the program.
But did you guys see that thing with Piers Morgan where he was asked, like, what does he like about multiculturalism? And he said chicken tikka masala.
Yeah, literally.
That was made in Glasgow.
I was going to say that's not even from India at all.
But it was an Indian guy. So the question then is, here's the point. It's a double whammy. If Piers is like, I like multiculturalism because we have chicken tikka masala, which was invented in Scotland, he's saying the dude who made it wasn't Scottish.
He's also kind of being
Base Piers Morgan?
like
He's like, you are not Scottish.
he's kind of being not I don't know if racist is the right word, but that's a very dumb answer because having chicken tikka masala has nothing to do with what cultures of people live
bro,
around you.
We can steal whatever food we want.
You know that you can get the recipes
Bro,
online,
you
you
can
can
just
get the
watch
ingredients
Food
online.
Network.
You don't
I
need
can-
Indian people in your country to make Indian food now. It used to be 100, 500 years ago, maybe it was that way. It's not like that anymore.
Well, it was never that way. Do you
Back
guys
then
know?
you had to find the secret, you know?
Do you, friends, know the legend of ketchup?
No, what's the legend of
Oh,
ketchup?
well, let me come gather around, and I will tell you a tale. A guy went to China and had katsa, which is a vinegar tomato sauce, and then he came to the United States, and he was like, "I'm gonna make it." And they're like, "What is it?" And he goes, "Katsa." And then they put catsup, and then catsup got redneckified into ketchup.
I'd always been told there was an episode of King of Queens where Arthur, the dad, he objected to calling it ketchup because he said it was like the commodified brand name of it, and the actual substance is called catsup. That's like how, people call tissues Kleenexes, and it's like, even if it's not Kleenex brand. So he refused to play a part of this corporatization of our products. And I thought that was a bold stand by Arthur Spooner.
I don't know if that's all a bold stand.
Chinese fermented fish sauce, katsa.
Oof.
Yeah, I think.
And you can actually get katsa. You go to a Chinese food restaurant, it's vinegar, tomato sauce on chicken or whatever, chicken katsa or whatever. Yeah. Ancient China, a pungent fermented fish sauce. And
Yeah,
then
this-
It stinks, huh?
Yeah, this whole idea that you have to even like, let's just say Piers Morgan's like priority was like food options, which whatever. It's stupid, but it's whatever. If you go to Tokyo, it's a very homogenous country. It's like 99% ethnically Japanese. And you go around Tokyo, you will have the best ethnic food from around the world.
yeah.
The best Italian, the best Thai, the best Indian. No matter what, Tokyo has fantastic array of options. And the reason for that is they said, rather than importing the people here simply for the recipes, what we can do is we can send the Japanese chefs to these countries so they can learn from them and then come back and open restaurants. Not to mention now you can just look up the recipe. And so you actually get like a really authentic, what's the word I'm looking for? Very delectable food options.
Yeah,
in
and I
Tokyo.
mean, it's also worth noting that, like, in Japan, they don't really have a concept of close enough. Like, it's right or it's not right.
Yes,
they're
that
very
helps as
precise
well.
in everything. When I was like, we've done a bunch of touring in Japan, and you go there, and the first day your crew will set up the stage, and then once everything's set up, the local crew will come in, they measure everything, take pictures. The very next day, when you show up at the venue, your crew included, like when you guys show up, everything's set up. If you had a Red Bull and a beer set on the riser, there would be a Red Bull and a beer. Like, it is, their attention to detail is like no other place I've been, and I've been to a bunch of countries.
It's wonderful. I mean, that's when I went to the McDonald's there and they bow to you. I'm like, in the United States, they square up with you. So it's like really refreshing.
I want to propose a compromise with Piers Morgan. I will guarantee he can have chicken tikka masala. In fact, I will bring him pad thai personally, but no immigration. I'm kidding, but like, if his point is
good
the
deal
food
to
is
me.
good, it's like, okay, then the argument from the anti-immigration side is, then we will plunder their food and you can have it. Is that your argument?
The British did that. They literally would just topple countries for spices.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you know how many people were killed for black pepper?
Yeah.
Amazing. It's like
wars.
50K.
Worth it.
Like 50,000 people were slaughtered so that like aristocrats in France could put black pepper on their steak. And then the funniest thing is, every restaurant down to the redneckiest piece of trash restaurant's gonna have black pepper on every table that nobody uses.
Yeah.
Literally.
Can I add a likely conspiracy to the ketchup?
Yeah,
thing?
let's go.
Most likely, the person who brought ketchup back was a heroin dealer. During that time, there was a shortage in silver, and a lot of American aristocrats were selling heroin to Chinese drug lords, and they would go trade heroin for silver. And I'm just putting that out there because that's something that happened around that era. Is heroin being sold to Chinese drug lords.
Yeah, you did have the British when they were trying to open up the Chinese market. They flooded it with opium.
Indeed.
And then that gave them a just cause. As soon as they cut off the opium supply, then a war broke out.
Yeah, the Frank Lucas of white people probably brought ketchup back.
There are a lot of
It's a likely
things
theory.
that, like, apparently, like the ketchup thing or ketsa or whatever is super old. Like, there's legends of it going back, like it's ancient pungent fish or whatever. It's wild when you like rolling dice. These things have been around for like thousands of years. We just kept them.
And we're still so primitive. Like the word building, there are words where the word indicates what it is. Like, what are you doing? I'm building. What are you building? A building. Like, that's
Yeah, it's
how
like-
creative people get, and then they just stop. That's the level we're at right now as humans. We're still calling.
Well, have you seen where the word for soap, the root word, existed in Western Europe and also among the Aboriginal Australians? So if you look at a map of like the word soap, and the Aboriginals, they called it sabu, I think, or abu, and it's the same root word as soap. And the most interesting thing about all of this is this word traveled all throughout Africa, East Asia, Europe, and it missed India. And I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. It somehow missed India. I don't know. You can extrapolate that from what you want.
Not
but it's
even
true.
joking.
That is anthropology. Like I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Not even joking.
I'm not. It's just like pull up the map. I hate this. I don't like saying that.
Actually, this is another pretty interesting thing is because just because we're at the Poker Go Studios, poker is like 1,000 years old.
All right.
Is it really?
No idea.
There's a bunch of different theories as to the origin, but one of them is that it was like in Germany, it was like a bowl with cups in it, or like around it, and everybody would get dealt a card, and the king was the best, and then you had rocks or pebbles, and you'd wager them, and you'd say like, I'm knocking, who's there? I am the king. I don't believe you. And so this is like the root of poker.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
dope.
a single card game, and then whoever had the highest card won. That's all it was.
Oh,
That's like how in chess, like all of the words are derived from like ancient Persian. Like checkmate was like chakmat, and it meant the king is in danger.
wow.
And chess is like something like 1,500 years old as well, and it made its way over to the West.
Do you know soap is what stopped the plague?
Soap.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Europe they used to bathe and eat in the same pots they cooked in, and the Moors conquered certain parts of Europe and introduced soap, and that's what stopped the plague.
There we go.
You know what's funny is that like ancient Rome had toilets, and then after the civilization collapsed, they just started chucking shit out the windows onto the floor. No, but for real, like in these medieval villages, they just take a bucket and they'd throw it out the window. And
Right.
like what happened? So that actually has me worried about what's going on right now, because if we do go into a total social collapse,
We lose Instagram Reels.
I know.
Oh, that's crazy.
There's no point of me being alive if that happens.
Well, I think actually, speaking of that, they're going to ban it.
Instagram Reels?
Like the carousel style.
like social media for kids.
Oh yeah, the Australians have already done so.
Exactly. And there's other countries talking about doing it. I think they should.
Yeah,
Well,
was gonna say,
I would
I'm not-
actually,
I'm
I would
not for
challenge
sure
you on
it's a
that. I
bad
think
thing.
with the Australians, I've always maintained this policy, which is when the left throws the right a bone, you should always be skeptical of why that's occurring. And I think the reason the Australian government banned social media for under 16 is because ideas were being disseminated to kids that were turning them more right wing. Therefore, they want to get on top of that. I don't think it was like usually we operate against parents, but in this instance, we're going to join forces with parents to ensure their children are safe.
I think we should ban the social media, and then when a kid gets caught using it, we beat them.
Singapore style.
Yeah.
I got a serious
look-
question.
Flogging.
How did we get completely clean before wet wipes?
Completely clean. Like, what do you mean? Like
I mean,
your butt?
Ribs.
We didn't.
I don't think we did.
It was like they would look at the pork ribs and be like, I wish I could eat it, but my hands will get dirty.
Just go to Memphis and everyone's hands are just nasty. No one knew what to do. There's like
get
only
dry-
some sort of satchel with a moist towelette in it. I don't know.
I mean,
They used a fork and a knife.
Really? You think so? Do you think Memphis is? I'm
Well,
from
why
there.
do you think buffalo wings weren't invented until like 15 years ago?
yeah, I don't remember in the 90s.
It's very salient. Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't remember buffalo wings in the 90s. Yeah.
It's because you couldn't wash your hands, and so
Right.
the chicken existed, but we had not yet invented cutting its legs off and deep frying them and rolling it in sauce.
Right.
I don't know about that.
We hadn't figured it out.
And no one cracked.
I heard the
code.
Scottish figured it out. I heard the Scottish invented fried chicken.
Well,
I
they
think
fry
that- I
everything.
actually
They
think
fry
that's
like
true.
chocolate bars. They're like a bunch of freaks.
Because there's a lot of Scottish people that came over to the U.S. and they went into the South, and that's why part of the reason
Yeah.
why it's Southern fried
If
chicken.
you
they
listen
came
to
up
like
with it.
country music, it sounds remarkably similar.
Oh, yeah,
It's like
yeah.
Ulster folk music.
No single person invented fried chicken. That's a lie. That is an absolute lie. There was a first person who did it. We all know it. But they say it came from ancient frying methods with Scottish immigrants bringing deep frying techniques and West Africans contributing crucial seasonings, creating the iconic Southern dish in the American South. Bro, I don't care about your secret spices. Dude.
It was
I care about it being deep fried.
it's
That's
a
how
group-
the first interracial couple was born.
It's a group project. It's a very beautiful thing.
But yeah, if you look at the
What happened was the Scottish guy was carrying his fresh fried chicken, and he bumped into this West African woman who spilled all of her spices into his chicken bucket, and then they looked at each other, and it was love.
and they fell in love.
Oh my God,
Right.
it's a beautiful
But yeah.
love story.
And then they were hanged for
Segregation.
But
miscegenation being illegal. So and
the
cohabitation.
Scottish came to the South. Like a lot of Scottish people settled in the U.S. South, and that's
I was
that's-
one of them.
Were you really?
Well, 400 years ago.
Ah, well, you know.
What
you tell
aren't they
everybody.
the reason for the term? Well, I don't want to say cracker.
The etymology of crackers
Yeah,
is
from
not
that.
certain. Like,
Is that something your family history would know a lot about?
All about crack.
we were broke. We
You
couldn't
are
afford
pale.
it.
You could afford it.
We'll have our
pale,
price
man.
range. We were more. The Irish was more
That's
our
kind
price
of funny.
range.
Don't accuse my family of having slaves. We were poor.
Yeah, the Irish that was a little more our. No, yeah. Well, the common etymology that people explain for crackers, the whip cracking, but that's not actually
No,
true. It
no,
was
it's
referring. Yeah, I mean, you take it away.
Wasn't it because that there'd be like an old white guy in a rocking chair next to a barrel full of crackers outside of a convenience store?
No, that's funny.
No, they were the suspected etymology is that the Scots Irish, when they would ride on these chuck wagons because they were such hooligans, I'm using the Irish slur there intentionally,
Gangsters.
is they would be cracking up. They would be laughing quite a bit. So these Scots Irish, they barely work. There's a bunch of crackers. They're always just cracking up.
Here says comes from Middle English cracker, meaning a boaster, someone that boasts, and then from Shakespeare, a noisy boaster. One of his lines. What cracker is this same that deafs our ears? He's asking about the dude himself.
This is my favorite etymology. Do you know the etymology of hillbilly?
Negative.
No, talk to me.
So this is a really interesting one. So if you go to Scotland, and a lot of Protestants there identify as Billy Boys, and this goes back to William of Orange. Obviously, he was this sort of Protestant insurgent king in England, and so a lot of the Protestants sided with them. So if you were siding with William of Orange, you were therefore a Billy Boy. You were a supporter of King Billy. And so what happened is a lot of these Scots-Irish from Ulster and a lot of Scottish migrants from like the lowlands then came to the United States. They still held that allegiance in some ways to King William of Orange. And since they moved into the Appalachians, they became Billy Boys, hillbillies. And so that's where the term, and that one I'm 100% sure on.
I was thinking about the history of the word cracker while you were talking, because it's like if it means somebody that boasts, and there's a bunch of black dudes in like 1820 or 1870 being like, yo, these motherfuckers won't shut the fuck. They talk so much shit. They're crack. These are the crackers that we read about.
There was
from
also
Shakespeare.
a vagrant class of like
What else could it
Irish
be?
people that lived like in the 13 colonies, like in Georgia and places like that in the swamps, and they were really like gangster tough guys, and they were referred to as that as well because they just kicked up a lot of dust, caused a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? Robbed people. You know.
They call them crack.
The problem with the like the left likes to push this that it was the whip crack.
Right.
The problem is that the left only understands slavery as like field worker slaves being beaten, and it completely omits the entire economics of slavery, which is people were working in shops.
A lot of it was an indentured servitude.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean,
Or evolved from.
Right,
They were slaves who were cobblers.
Yeah.
Sitting there making shoes. There's no whip crack for a guy working in a shoe store.
And the interesting thing about slavery is actually was like the last thing holding back total industrialization. Because like, for example, the British Empire struggled to really industrialize until they outlawed slavery because it propped up like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Propped up export of crops. Forget the word. It's agrarian. It propped up an agrarian society. This is why the North developed so much more quickly than the South. The South had, for a variety of reasons, a decentralized culture. This comes from the Normans, et cetera. But mainly because the South relied on slavery to prop up their agricultural industry, and they had no need to develop machines because labor was everywhere. It was cheap. It was essentially free in many ways. And so they never actually needed to develop machines because they had human labor, versus in the North where slavery was outlawed. They're just like, well, labor costs are really expensive. Let me just see if I can make a machine to, eliminate the need for a human being. So yeah, industrialization really took off following the outlaw of slavery.
And another element of that is a lot of single white males that came to this country during that time were indentured slaves and had to actually work for families if they didn't have children. Because the population was so low. If you didn't have a family and have children to give to the country, then you had to work as an indentured slave to a man who had children and a family and help them tend to their farm and be productive citizens.
Could you imagine if that happened today? I mean, I don't know that we'll go there, but they're like, we need a workforce. Every family gets a slave as long as you have a child in the house. Right. We'll get you one foreign worker that will be yours to do as you wish with.
Well, in many ways, I mean, there is mandatory labor that comes in part with like an H-1B visa because your status in the country is entirely dependent on your employer. So if you stop showing up to work, you're going to get deported. You're going to get fired and deported.
I'll say something controversial. If you have a loan, you're an indentured slave.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we sell debt, we sell the debt of people who have loans to foreign people. So, I mean, if you have a debt, man,
that's the Christian ethic behind the outlawing of usury. That's why we had usury laws, is because we said a man would view you as less than if he held interest on you, if he held a debt over your head that was accumulating. And so that's why usury was a sin, because it would lessen your view of another individual, because you're saying, this guy owes me a bunch of money and that interest is racking up. Usury was just charging interest on debt.
You know,
So it's outlawed.
there's an interesting video on YouTube. I can't remember the guy's name because my brain isn't working. But they went around in the 30s and interviewed ex-slaves, people who survived slavery, and they talked to this guy who was a slave about loans and debt, and he just could not understand the concept. It's a great video to listen to. They asked him like what he thought about interest rates and shit, and he's like, man, basically, what? Like, if you can't afford it, why are you buying it? Like, I don't get how I could owe you money. You know what I mean? Like, I do the work, and you give me what I need for the work, and it's over with. So, yeah.
I think I don't know if I have this entirely straight, but usury is still outlawed in Islam, widely accepted as a sin in Islam. So the way that a lot of these Islamic countries are able to bank, like in the 21st century, correct me if I'm wrong, Serge may know, but I believe what they do is they sort of estimate what the interest would be, how much interest would accumulate, and they front load that. So you pay a fee up front in addition to your loan. So your actual loan doesn't accumulate interest. You're just paying a normal, a standard rate throughout the duration of the loan, but the interest was front loaded at the beginning. So that's how people in the Middle East are able to like acquire like a mortgage or a long-term loan.
So you'll take out $1 million, you get 700,000 of it, and then you just have to pay back $1 million, basically.
Yeah. So you just
That's cool.
it's like a down payment in some ways, and that's how they're able to conduct banking in countries with usury laws.
Yeah, I mean,
and usury was banned in Europe until like the 15th, 16th century because they needed money for wars.
yeah, I mean, look, capital markets have really benefited the country largely, but I do think that because we don't educate people on how interest works and stuff, people end up getting completely and totally underwater all the time.
That's why Middle Eastern countries never have recessions, is because they don't have huge debt crises. I'm struggling to say words today.
It's probably got something to do with the oil that most of them are sitting on too.
That as well, but even countries, well, yeah, I mean, Turkey would be a bad example, but they don't have economic recessions on like scheduled 10-year durations like we do in the West, where it's like every 10 years there's pretty much a crisis that occurs and there's a huge crunch.
I think in my opinion, that's more of a product of the fiat system that we use as opposed to just having capital markets, right? Like,
yeah, that's true.
When the government is setting the interest rate, because the price of money, right? That's what your interest rate is. It's how much it costs to borrow money. When the market itself sets the price of money, then you don't have the government trying to incentivize different areas by tax policy, or by not trying to get people to take out loans by lowering the interest rate, or get people to not take out loans by increasing the interest rate. It's the manipulation of the market by the government that actually ends up sending mixed messages to the market.
Yeah.
When you have a market that is allowed to price money at a rate that the market decides, then you don't have the same kind of like the 2008 crisis wouldn't have happened if the government wasn't saying, "Oh, we want people to be able to take out loans," and they were messing with the credit. The credit, they were allowing people that didn't have good credit to take out more money in loans than they could actually pay back.
Right.
Yeah, well, and that's why like the central banks across the world are always incentivized to keep inflation like 2 to 3%, because that stimulates your economy, that forces people to spend their money. Because if inflation's at 0%, people will just sit on their money because it's not losing value.
I'm learning a lot, but I'm bored.
Yeah, this is very boring. Let's
Thinking the same thing earlier.
Can we go back? Can we go back to like the sexual?
I just want to have some
innuendos?
fun.
Everybody can understand it. Look, we got one more day left. You know what I mean?
I'm sick of talking about interest rates.
Everybody's sick of listening.
I'm also, I don't know if scared's the right word, but no regime change wars. This is a big part of my life
No,
for the last
I'm
20
for
years.
it now.
Now you're for regime change?
Yeah, because it's
I'm like,
boring to say the same thing for 10 years.
I know.
So now
the
I'm just
balloons add a whole new
They
element.
wait you out.
He's right.
Yeah.
This is how military orders work. They just wait for the populace to quit complaining. We haven't had a regime change war in 16 years. Don't worry. Now look the other way. We're going to do a regime change war again.
No. We haven't had one in 16 years, so now it's good because we get at least one every so often. You know what I mean?
And
This
think
one.
about
You
how
know what we
like,
should
This
do?
one will be different.
Hey, we launch rocks like little cannonballs, but we tie hydrogen balloons to them, so they fly in the air and then they land on the beaches of Venezuela. Then we can, shoot them with dragon's breath.
that could work. That
Then
could
it's-
work.
I think it's a particularly ineffective means of combat because maybe a bullet would just do a better job. But
the range on
you know,
dragon's breath isn't all that far. So
I
you
think
have to
everyone's
get onto
bored
the beach.
with hearing the same thing over and over again. So for the sake of just being entertaining, I'm in favor of regime change war. Let's start with Canada.
Let's do a 2v3. I'm in favor as well. Name a country they probably need to be toppled.
I met this Canadian guy a few days ago, and he he was talking to me. He asked me like what I did. I said I do politics, and he was like, "Oh, he's like, yeah, I'm from Canada." And I was like, "Oh yeah, the Canadians hate me more than anybody." And he was like, "Why is that?" And I was like, "Because I made a joke where I said we were gonna conquer Canada and subjugate it.
Yeah.
And now they're like, no group of people wants to murder me more than Canadians.
Yeah, literally.
Then he wanted to fight you.
No,
that
he
guy
started
was
laughing
awesome.
and he was like,
was
"Oh
awesome.
yeah, you were there." He laughed. And he's like, "Yeah, that sounds like Canada."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, everyone acts like they're polite, but they're sitting there waiting with a blade behind their back to get you."
He was like
literally.
an Alberta guy, I think. Alberta. And he was saying how different it
where's
is
that
across
news? We
the
got breaking
country.
news.
Yeah.
You haven't found an article yet? See, we got to verify this before I just blurt it out.
Yeah.
And why on X? New York Times reporting the Brown shooters found dead.
Yeah, I just saw
Whoa.
that.
Was he brown?
I think he was.
Coincidentally?
2 minutes ago. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hit this. We got this story. I can't read it.
Oh no.
Wait, I got to log in. All right, let's go back to trying to. Thank you for reading the Times. What does this say? It's so stupid.
They're nickel and diming us. It's a form of usury. Paywalls,
Load times.
load times.
They just want extra money.
That's what it is.
They want my time.
I noticed the ad always loads before.
We'll just wait till someone
everything
else reports it because otherwise I got to log in.
Like on YouTube, all the ad loads in crystal clear 4K, and then the video doesn't load.
Person
That's
of interest. No,
how
that's
they
not the
get
Brown
you.
shooter. Person of interest found dead. The authorities found the man's body in a storage unit in Salem.
Yeah.
2 law enforcement officials said they added that they believe he was also connected to the killing of an MIT professor this week.
That sounds. This is weird.
It sounds like they're trying to shut it down.
Yeah. Did they find a note on him? How is he a person of interest? Like, what? Yeah.
Who said they were a person of interest?
the board.
And,
Right.
and was he brown?
The question still remains.
Is he a person of interest? An interesting person. Yeah. Maybe
They've
she-
not identified the
Thune.
person. But could this just be another victim?
It could be.
It's possible.
Dude,
Maybe
what
it was,
if,
it's the storage wars. It went kinetic.
no. What if what's happening is that the deep state has lost control for some time now, and so all the wet work they're doing in
Trying to
desperate
clean up the.
Yeah, they're trying desperately to regain control, so they're taking people out, but it's just they don't have the means of keeping it under wraps anymore, so we're figuring it out.
The internet has changed it all.
Wait, hold on. We need to get more viewers on this show because it's like we're in the off season. Israel did it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I don't know. Israel
Please-
versus
please-
Hamas.
please subscribe.
Hamas versus Israel.
Jew.
It was
Yeah.
Anne Frank's great grandson,
That's right.
Tony Frank.
Wait, how did she have a kid?
That's a good question.
Who's better,
sister.
Israel
That was actually
or
the
not
diary
Israel?
it's all in the Diary of Anne Frank Part 2.
Yeah.
It's the DLC.
Yes.
It's like Mormonism. It's coming out
Yeah,
a
there's
little later.
seasons now, right?
Yeah, it's Netflix, yeah.
It's every season. Just like other video
Who
games.
can we blame that will get us a lot of clicks?
I mean, you just went to the top notch, right? Or top dog,
Yeah,
right? The
Israel's
Jews.
pretty
Israel.
much as good as it gets, I think.
Yeah.
There's gonna like a bunch of chat, and they're gonna be like, "Whoa, they're right."
So
I didn't even say anything.
Whoa, Timcast gets it now. These guys finally.
No, they're gonna
understand.
post things like "so close."
Yeah.
You're so close, Tim.
Now you're joking around. You got the call. That's what it
I got
is.
the call. I
You got the
did.
call.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was Israel.
It's like I'm getting the call, guys. Oh, Domino's.
No, I got a call and it was a lot, and he asked me what I wanted from for lunch, and I said I wanted to get if they have gluten-free bread, I get a roast beef with Swiss and mustard. I like the mustard.
He's
But-
like, the answer
and he
was
asked me
matzah.
what side I wanted, and
You're getting
I said,
matzah.
I said coleslaw, but I'm not going to eat it. I mean, just so get whatever.
That's the most anti-white thing I've ever heard. You're not eating coleslaw.
Yeah, no.
That's like personal.
But like they give you that little thimble thing full of coleslaw. I was like, I don't want it.
Yeah, it's just like a sampler. What do we
Yeah,
want?
what is that for? You just like squeeze it in your mouth and then you're done.
It's like a shot.
into it.
It's
The
like a
best
shot of
coleslaw is like just vinegar, sugar, and
Sugar?
yeah, vinegar,
Bro, give me
sugar, and
raw
shredded
red
cabbage.
with
Just
vinegar
squeeze
splashed
it.
on it.
Coleslaw
A
with
little bit of
M&M's in
sugar.
it. That's how you turn that shit up.
How'd you do it? What'd
You know what I'm
have?
gonna
I
do?
think he was making fun of Ian.
I've been feeling real dark lately over everything that's going on. So I think
Is everything all right out on the floor?
No, what I'm gonna do is when we get back is I'm gonna fill up a bowl with M&Ms, but I'm gonna put like a little bit of Skittles in it.
Oh, that's low.
Oh,
That's
shit,
low.
dude.
Oh yeah.
That's
what
culture
you do. That's
jamming.
what you do when you really hate
That's gonna.
yourself.
That's
like
gonna turn
self-
you into a person of
that's
interest.
straight up
That's
self-harm.
And then
wild.
what
Tim?
happens when the guests show up and we have a bowl of M&Ms? I'm just gonna sit there staring. I'm like this,
You get
just
one-
waiting,
one
and
will
they're gonna be
spit.
like, they're gonna grab it and go.
Yeah, it overloads their sensory system. They
Yeah.
have like a health crisis.
Does that have you
Or
done?
you know what you do? You tell someone, you ask them if they want milk, but then you give them orange juice.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Did that ever happen to you?
yeah.
and then your brain freaks out because it's like acidic, so it instantly tricks your brain into thinking it's spoiled.
That's what happened. That's my dad, when he met his in-laws for the first time, they made him coffee and they had salt in the sugar thing. And so he was putting salt and he's like, their coffee is nasty, but I can't say anything. I don't want to offend them. This is my first time at their household. So he just choked down like 3 cups of salty coffee.
Same kind of thing when you expect still water and you end up with bubbly water. Like,
Yeah, or when you're expecting water and it's pee.
what?
Is that relatable?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
So it's just warm and
Well,
salty-ish.
it's because he bottles it and stores it, for later use.
I hope it's your pee.
It was my brother's pee.
Skittles with coleslaw
He
is
laughed
crazy.
and laughed.
You're really close to losing that Kalshi bet.
Oh, man. What's the bet?
Before the show started, one of the chatters said that Kalshi is giving it a 57.4% chance that Ian will mention his penis.
No, because the pee came out of his penis, not mine.
Right.
Joke's on you.
Completely different penis.
Skittles
And
with
then
coleslaw is crazy. That's going to cause a
Entirely.
riot between the Aryan brothers and the blacks in prison, man.
Oh,
If we
right.
just-
Did you guys
true.
remember? Do you
Coleslaw?
guys remember when the New York Times had to put peas in your guacamole?
What?
And it
Yeah,
united
that's
the
disgusting,
left
too.
and the right.
Really?
Everybody
it
hated
really
it.
did. They literally Cenk Uygur and Gavin McInnes were holding hands in outrage. Or I'm kidding, not those specifically, but literally everybody was like, I want to punch the editor in the face who
Yes.
who told us to put peas in our guacamole.
There's
Yeah,
a Fox News hit on the brown shooter.
that
On
can't
the brown
be.
shooter?
Yeah, suspect
He was
brown
white.
shooter.
He was what?
On a brown shooter or
fact
the
check.
brown
shooter was white.
Shooter from.
All right, here we go.
Alert. A high-placed source has just told Fox News that the suspected shooter was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We have a Fox News alert.
But they didn't
that's long.
confirm if the brown shooter was brown.
And this is the two killed two.
And maybe the MIT guy as well.
That is a weird one. I don't think those things are remotely related. That is bizarre.
We'll find
if
out.
this is a big ploy to get that MIT guy dead and then shut the whole thing down and be like, look, it was just some random thing that happened, everybody. Go back to sleep.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe.
I mean,
maybe Ian drinks his own urine.
No, it was
you
my
admitted
brother's
to it.
urine. Shout out to Max.
I'm worried
I was
because I'm
very
not sure
young,
if he's
too.
joking.
No, I'm not joking.
No, he's
I was
not.
pissed. I chased him into my parents' room. He was laughing and he jumped in my. I was like, "You made me drink my pee," and they were like, I was like, "It's not funny. It's not funny."
why is it that you?
Is that what happened to you?
Yeah.
Like you were like a normal kid, you had like straight A's, and then you drank pee, and this is what happened.
Yeah, he went.
You're
He was
a
like, "Hey,
victim.
want some
You're a
water?"
victim.
I was playing Nintendo, and he was like, "Want some water?" I was like, "That was nice of him." Yeah, of course. So he
It was
came out
warm?
with this blue plastic cup that I couldn't see through, and I was
Fake
like,
out, yeah.
took a sip and I
This
spit
is
it out. I knew
very.
immediately.
This is like a very woman thing to do, like telling stories that are really embarrassing about yourself.
He's been holding on to this trauma for like 50 years.
I think
Yeah,
about
Phil,
it every
he's-
few years. Yeah, it
He's
comes into
healing
my
right now,
mind.
and you're
But-
just mocking him.
Yes.
You know what? People are surprised to know that Ian's 50,
Almost
and but
Almost.
it's because he drinks pee.
46.
What does piss taste like?
Yeah,
What
what's
is
it-
Like warm, salty sweat with a little more.
a little more.
A little more what?
You know what I mean?
More
A little
pee.
more of
I've
that.
never tasted
that
urine
pig-
before.
that
Because the
pea,
aroma,
urine-y,
is the
yeah.
aroma present in the taste.
Wait, wait, hold on,
For
hold
sure.
on.
Up in your sinuses.
happens.
you
Was
get-
This doesn't sound like a story of you accidentally one time being tricked into sip piss. Sounds like you do it a lot.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds like you're a piss sommelier.
I may have framed.
Was he dehydrated?
What ethnicity
or was
is the
it
best
like
pee?
very
No.
clear?
Well, I
yellow
couldn't
was it?
see the urine because it was in a solid blue
But I
plastic.
imagine it would be have a strong odor if he was.
It wasn't strong. No, I didn't smell
maybe-
it coming up.
so maybe he
only when
was-
it was in.
So he was
Okay,
hydrated. He was
let's-
well hydrated.
Ian, have
Likely.
you ever had a s'more? This is much
delicious.
more-
Yeah, like
Did he
those-
give you a
Wow.
buzz?
I don't think so. No, his.
Would you drink
Bro,
it
you kidding?
again?
It's buzzing for 50 years. His brain's
Didn't give me-
cooked.
Would you take? Would you
Look at this
drink
guy.
anything your brother gave you again?
I don't know if you guys saw the after show with John Otto. He was actually talking about
Yeah, oh,
studies
yeah.
that urine therapy, they call it, where people
And
drink
everyone
urine.
was like, he had me going on this red light thing until he started talking about how he drinks his own urine, and now I'm not so sure.
but apparently there's antibodies in it that get lost, and a lot of it's
I'm
just
gonna-
about
I'm gonna tell
regulating
people you
blood
probably should
pressure.
not
Yeah, you
do
just
that.
run it through the system in case you missed out on any
Hey,
nutrients.
I'm not trying to like spread the shame. I'm still feel, like he got me. I drank his pee.
Yeah. If you tasted you,
I didn't
you
see it
Hey,
coming.
did you get revenge?
Yes. One time he was peeing on the garage outside, and I was like, Max, you can't pee on the wall. And he was like, so I grabbed his,
Oh, wow.
penis and made him pee in his own face.
Nice.
We were kids.
Oh, yeah,
that's
that's
what
crazy.
you do. Sorry, Max.
I've never done that.
You never
After
did
you
that to
drink
Chris?
piss, can
Where
you-
did you Where did you grow up? Epstein Island?
No, just on a farm. Not really. Close to a farm.
God.
Suburbs,
Like our viewer count is just dropping the more Ian talks
I
about.
gotta
grabbing
be
his brother's
honest.
penis.
It's my curse, a blessing, and a curse.
I don't know about the blessing part.
Yeah.
If
Guys-
you drink piss, you can guess his penis size. Like be accurate with that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably put it in the skewer. Yeah.
So I grabbed his penis and made a penis so
Yeah, I was so
That's
mad.
just a relatable childhood story, Tim. You know, some of us,
Well,
I
you know
did
what
monkey
happened?
bars.
I peed on him one time when he was really little.
Oh, this is
And
crazy.
he was getting me back for that when he
Right.
made me drink his pee.
And then did he respond after the
No, we've
self-pee?
de-escaled after
Did
that.
you gargle it?
There was an armistice.
No,
Didn't gargle it?
I just knew.
Do you see an instance where this kicks off again? Like the
Probably
ceasefire
not.
breaks?
No, I think we're good now.
Good. Can you forgive him?
Yeah.
The
I got it.
peace
I
fire?
just want him to
Magnanimous
be
is the
happy.
way to go. Magnanimous is the way to go.
Yeah, spread the love. Then his kids will be happier too.
Right. You don't want that generational trauma.
So Trump
it ends
actually-
with you.
Trump actually did make Christmas and
Yeah.
so it's an executive order. So it's actually
Indeed.
a new federal holiday. Okay.
All right, we're gonna go to your Rumble rants and super chats. So
We
smash
answer
the like
questions
button,
about
share the
drinking
show with
pee.
everyone you know. You can't miss the uncensored portion of the show at rumble.com/Timcast IRL. And shout out to My Pillow. Oh, it just disappeared. I put it the wrong way anyway. Shout out to My Pillow for making this week possible. We really do appreciate it. My Pillow. Use promo code Tim, of course. There you go. Bang. Save up to 80% off and free shipping with promo code Tim. The best promo code. Everybody agrees. But we do got another sponsor for you, my friends. It is Bearskin Tactical. Go to bear.skin/Tim. Pick up your bearskin hoodie now. We got a bunch of these. They're actually really nice. Ian wears them all the time. It's getting cold now, so I gotta get my. We're in Vegas. It's not really cold out. So, my friends, if you're trying to figure out what to get, you want to get a good Christmas present, don't get anybody socks, because that's a trope. Unless they're like those really good high end ones. But what you can do is you can get them the 340 GSM Microfleece Bearskin hoodie. It's got 10 secure pockets, 5 highly secure zip pockets on the exterior, 2 interior zip pockets, plus 3 secret interior drop pockets. Secrets. It's a 3-in-1 rain jacket. It zips into the 20K waterproof rated heavy storm jacket with protective outer shell. It's got a muscular build. And look at this guy. That could be you. You would look just like him.
Wow.
If you want. That's right. That could be you.
Why would they tell us about the secret pockets?
Well,
I know, you think you'd have to find them on your
I
own.
just want to discover.
yeah, it's like a
Like
surprise.
a treasure hunt in your clothes.
an Easter egg.
You buy it and then you open it and there's extra pockets you didn't know about and it's like a freebie. Well, my friends, text Tim to 36912. That's Tim to 36912, and they'll shoot you a link where you can click it whenever you want. Maybe you're on the phone, maybe you're driving, maybe you're watching the World Series of Poker Bahamas, like I wish I was, and then you can pick it up whenever you want.
I gotta say, those are nice. Those are really nice.
They're
I
super good. I really like it.
them.
And the rain jacket, no joke.
I haven't worn that one yet. I've just worn the fleece.
very nice.
Very nice.
Let's get your Rumble rants and super chats. Shannon Wilder says, "Merry Christmas to all of you. I hope you all have a blessed one filled with love and family. You as well. You as well." Schlippy says, "Trump is endorsing Tony Gonzalez over Brandon Herrera. Please, for the love of God, let him know that Tony is a traitor as Rhino. Brandon is a million times better." Wait, hold on. Was Tony Gonzalez that guy where that lady lit herself on fire?
That is the one. Yes.
Is he the football tight end?
No.
That's what I'm thinking of, but I'm
Different.
He's the
basic.
current. He's the current congressman from that district, and yes, he is the guy that was alleged to have been having an affair with the woman that set herself on fire and died,
because they
or
broke up.
was found set on fire. I'm not sure if it was actually self-inflicted or not.
All right. A Slice of Reality says, "Tim, you should give Ian and Phil a bonus for dealing with last night's guest, whose reality detachment made Candace's Charlie Kirk conspiracies look credible."
It was fine.
That's the guy that kept cutting you off.
He was just doing a whole lot of gish galloping.
Yeah, it was.
Well, the booking
Shapiro,
team
Brian
knew
Shapiro.
that I was doing the poker stream
He
on the
had been.
17th.
He had been. I think scheduled for Tuesday, and he had canceled. So he wanted to meet up with you Tuesday, but he had some other engagement, so he had to miss it.
How
I
about
thought
a
it was
wild
pretty
show?
good though. It was pretty fun. I think it's more stressful for the audience than anybody on the actual show itself. Maybe you were. I mean, you were. I saw you moments where you were chomping at it, like getting ready to go, and other times where you're just like in
The
a
audience
I
chrysalis.
had to lock in sometimes.
Yeah, the audience wanted us to like start yelling back at him and stuff.
That was my first like on-camera debate. So I do need a bit of time to sort of develop, and then I'll be yelling. I'll be crashing out in due time.
That's what they wanted.
I hadn't prepped any of the facts that were brought up, and I'm like, I couldn't fact check
well,
everything.
yeah,
fast
because we were
enough.
talking about like illegal immigration. He's
Yeah.
like the interest rate, and I'm like what?
He does
Well,
that.
the
He
thing
does
is,
that,
he
yeah.
wanted like I was saying earlier on the pre-show, like he wanted to basically just posture and tell everyone how much he hated Trump. It was all Trump's bad,
Ian,
blah, blah, blah.
I'll give you some guys' advice, like a debate tip, is when someone gish gallops, just accuse them of drinking their own urine.
I smell it on you.
Yeah,
and
but I mean,
I don't want it anywhere near me.
I've
So,
been there, done
you
that.
know,
thank you, sir.
in all seriousness, this actually is a debate tactic that we were talking about the other day where
Yeah.
Trump did that thing where he goes,
I'm sorry. Your
he's
breath
like,
is
your
very
breath
bad.
is very bad. Has anyone told you that? And he's like, it's a negotiation tactic.
That's an ad hominem.
But like apparently Trump was saying use it as a negotiating tactic. So you're sitting down with a guy and he's like, look, we can't afford to pay you. And he sits back and goes, look, I'm sorry. I got to move back. Your breath is terrible.
With
That's all
Brian
off, yeah.
Shapiro, I thought about you at one point. I could have been like, hold on. You just brought up 5 points. You got to prove the first one before you move on to the second one.
That's
I
what
could
he
have done
does.
that and just, but I felt like it would have put like a stick in the spokes of the wheels of the show. So I was just like,
Look,
I don't
man.
know. Just listen.
you know, our audience is just very smart.
They are very smart.
They're high IQ. You know, in all seriousness, though, I hear this so often from like people in the Beltway about how everybody watches Timcast IRL, and I'm like, yes. Everybody in high level politics and around the political space watches the show. That's not a lot of people. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a big show. I'm just saying the perception that people in politics have is that this is like the biggest show ever when it's not, because it's the biggest show in their universe, or I shouldn't say biggest, but like one of the biggest shows in the political universe among the very small community of very politically active people.
Yeah, I think it's a phenomenon where a lot of, I don't want to say like the thought leaders, sometimes you'll get shows where like the leaders watch that show because it's
because we use too big of words, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you can't overstate the cultural impact of the show, right? Like people from Congress want to come here, people from DC, they want to come here because you reach an audience that they're trying to reach.
Yeah.
So
I think we just have to use smaller words.
I agree.
And make more fart jokes.
No more big.
Next year is going to be all about fart jokes, toilet humor, and we're gonna bring back the soundboard.
Yeah.
With Greta Thunberg going, "How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?"
No more big words.
And then,
I'll
watermelon.
debut my Tucker Carlson imitation in the new year.
Yeah.
Phil
Let's
loves
get
it.
a big word from Tate that we can put on repeat on the thing.
No, we got to get like hot moments every other week. Like we had
No more deracination there,
farting.
Tate.
Cheat an election. Cheat an election.
You could.
We should Coco Melon
have me
Max.
saying
That's what we
graphene
should
on
be
there.
Melon Max.
Yeah, we should be like maximizing our Coco Melon style aesthetics.
How funny would it be if, like,
Cocomelon
in
is.
1 year from now, it's just all toilet humor that barely talks about news. The viewership is like 10x, and politicians are like, "I want to come on."
That's
that
how
show.
Trump
picture
got
of-
elected.
We put a picture of Trump up, picture of AOC. Boo!
Actually, that'd be kind of
And we're
funny
just
if it was
sitting
like
around. Oh,
applause and boo.
just randomly, like Serge hits a button and AOC appears on the screen. We go, "Oh,
Ooh, gross. She's
and then,
stinky.
and then there's we just flash on the screen. It says laugh. It's like laugh
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I need
You are
that.
you are having
IRL.
fun.
You are enjoying the show. We do that. Like and subscribe. That like and subscribe is like, dangling some keys.
I feel like the show is very much too hoity-toity. You know, it's like, if you insist upon watching this show to learn more, please click the like button.
That's right.
Instead of being like, if you don't click the like button,
I'm gonna fuck
You're
you
gay.
up.
Yeah.
If it was on Rumble only, not that there's no, you still have to censor yourself a little bit. Like you can't say things that would be construed as illegal, but I'd be fucking flying if we were on like a non-censored. This
It's
would be
stuff for me. I say crazy stuff on my show.
on YouTube,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like
We
what?
get
Like what do you say? What do you
10,000
say?
people on the live, huh?
What do you say?
It just depends on how I feel. My show is all about jokes, so I don't have no,
What if you feel real good?
I mean, then I'm gonna say some real good stuff. You know what I mean? So,
I like that. You know, upbeat. Everybody's happy. Ian's drinking his own piss.
I'm
That's what
open
makes
to that
it-
actually.
Bottoms up.
Yeah, John Otto convinced me.
On the after show, could we?
Piss in
End
my
of the
mouth?
year,
What are you asking me?
not-
Chris?
Tomorrow night, end of the year show, Ian drinks at least a shot glass of
Okay,
urine.
Real talk. I have to pee right now, and I have a cup right here.
Will you drink your own pee on the after show? It's our last after show of the new
I'm
year.
gonna go
No,
pee
no,
on
no,
the
not
Tim
on-
got nervous
not
because he
on-
thought I'd
not
say
on-
yes.
I
There's
drink a
no
lot
way
of water.
to.
You want to drink my piss?
No,
I
not
drink a lot of
your.
water today.
I don't think we're
The
supposed to drink each
The
other's
after
pee.
show tomorrow, the last after show of the year.
There is.
So
It's
oh,
Friday.
no,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
Friday.
This is the last after show of the year, so this needs to get done.
Stick around. Ian's gonna drink his pee tonight.
I will neither confirm
All
nor
right.
deny that fact.
NNY says it's really unsightly that Phil was left to deal with a golem conjured by bad Reddit takes while Tim plays cards. Tisk tisk Tim.
That is just not nice to say about me. I mean, I'm like, I try my best, but
I
I'm a
killed it yesterday.
golem.
Liv's pro, but she was running so hot and she played very well. But I won 2 hands the whole night in 4
Speaking
hours.
of, I haven't even heard the story yet. What happened? I haven't
With
seen
what?
it, I haven't heard the story of your tournament or seen the show or anything.
I don't know why everyone keeps saying tournament. It's
I
like
thought it
it's
was
like
a
people are all mentally retarded.
Card game.
I thought it was a
Literally
what was
every single person is retarded.
an exhibition.
It was a cash game, a single poker game, and it's
Did
like
the blinds go up?
no matter how many. No, the cash game.
Could you rebuy?
Yes, I didn't have to.
Okay.
I'm a winner.
How many rebuys did you get?
What do you mean? It's a
said that you
cash
didn't.
game.
Well, then the guy with unlimited money would win every game.
You can only buy in for $5K. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think one dude bought in like $15K. He kept losing. King Cap.
Shame on
He
him.
was. I think it was the second. Was he second lowest? Maybe he might have been third lowest. He was funny though. He was a
He
good
had to
dude.
buy in 3 times.
Who was it?
King Cap.
Oh,
Yeah, he was a funny guy. He was him. Him and
I
Jerry
saw
were real funny guys.
Nikki
Those are good
Limo
dudes.
was on it. I've known
Yeah,
her
she
from
was funny
back in the
too.
day.
She got crushed. The thing was that Haley, she's really good and doesn't care if she loses like 20 grand. So I just played the hands that I could play. And I had people saying like, Tim, you didn't even play. I'm like, bro, give me anything to play. I played 5-6 suited, early position.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't trying to play nitty, but I didn't have anything. I'm like, you want to play King 3 offsuit? I'm not playing that.
Right. We were talking about because you want it to be entertaining. You're doing a show. It's not
It's
just
not-
about
not-
winning. You know.
But I wanted to play well, so I didn't want to just sit there. So in one instance, my favorite hand of the night, I folded because people don't know what good poker is. I had 9-10 suited under the gun, which is a very loose open. And so, but I'm like, I don't want to sit here all night not playing. So I got 9-10 suited. I'll play it. We'll see what happens. And then I think what happens, it calls around like four or 5 players. I think it was like 6 players. The flop comes out 9-2-5 with 2 hearts, 2-5. And so I got top pair with a flush redraw, which is really strong. And then I bet 140. And then Haley bets 500 right away because I knew exactly what she was doing. She had 5 deuce. She had 2 pair. And then I think it folds to Liv, who raises to 1,600. And I'm like, she's obviously got a set. Fold.
Yeah.
And the announcer's like, a huge fold from pool because, yeah, giving up top pair with a flush redraw, I could have won. But she hit a boat, and I would have lost, and folding was the right move. I was way behind. 2 pair to my left and a set to my right. I was behind. I was, but technically I was 30% with dead money in the pot, so I could have went for it, and I would have lost. But I thought it was a good move.
It looks like the police have done a press conference and they've identified the shooter now.
Oh, all right. Let's get it. Here we go.
Fox, yeah.
An individual was identified as Claudio Neves Valenti, date of birth, and he was a 48-year-old man.
He sounds brown.
He was a
Portuguese.
Brown student.
He was a Brown
Portuguese
student.
national, and his last known address was in Miami, Florida.
Whoa.
And I will tell you that he took his own life tonight. We have members of the Providence Police Department up in Salem, New Hampshire. And we also have the BCI unit. Obviously, the FBI and their evidence recovery unit is up there. So the process is being conducted as we speak. And it goes without saying that I would like to personally thank the efforts again of the Providence Police Department, the Rhode Island State Police, the Rhode Island Attorney General, the FBI, the ATF, HSI, the U.S. Marshals, IRS, DEA,
Everyone.
Secret Service.
WTP. All right, so we know he was a Brown student. Now, did he attend Brown University? That's the question.
I still don't know.
Yeah, he was a Portuguese national.
So he wasn't. It was a legal permanent resident.
Yep.
Was his English good enough to lead a press conference?
That guy? He's
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah,
go
okay, fine.
straight to jail. That man, you go also straight to jail.
That man, he is dead.
That man, he died.
Yeah, he.
The
Speak
thing
English
is,
fine.
He
the
held
man
it
who
down.
killed himself.
Accents are fine.
This is the Brown.
Remember when Shane Gillis got fired because he did an Asian accent or whatever?
Yeah.
And it was a good one too.
It was too. And as an Asian man myself, my heart was warmed that he was including me. And then they fired him because they were racist.
That was
Unfortunate.
Yeah, Timcast viewers don't know. Tim sounds like he puts this accent on for the show, but he actually sounds like that when the cameras
Yeah.
are off. It's really strange, but he's
thought-
professional.
Oh, yeah.
He's professional.
Yeah, this is an affectation. This is I studied very, very hard to be able to speak proper English because normally I talk like this.
It's true.
If you ever wonder why
behind the
Tim,
scenes, if you watch the uncensored portion of the show on rumble.com/Timcast IRL.
What are you doing?
if you ever think Tim seems stressed on camera, it's because he's trying to do that goofy accent, his American accent.
It drains
that
my
he's got.
focus.
Yeah.
Normally I can do like 16 digit divided by like decimals,
Right,
just
yeah.
boom, pop my head instantly, but constantly focusing and struggling to talk all good.
Yeah.
When he's off camera and he gets mad, he just starts talking in binary.
Yeah.
It's
Large
true.
numbers.
It's really something to see.
The tone.
You
All
listen
right, what do we got?
close
We got
during
some
the
super
chats.
chats here. We got what does that say? I can't read it, so small. What is it? Mama Otter? There's 2 M's in there. Tim, thank you for calling out Candace. Agree with you 100%. I've been a Timcast member for 4 years, and it's moments like that I've never regretted my membership. Well done, fine sir. You do you. You have my support. Merry Christmas. Here's your year-end bonus. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Guys, the reality is, like, talking with Graham, too, we lose viewers by calling her out for lying. But she's lying. She's lying nonstop. Like, I'll just say it again. According to my sources in the security, I'm saying this because I want to be very clear. I don't want you to be misled in any way. My sources in the security industry have confirmed to me Candace used the same security Charlie did at certain points of her career, whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying she's doing it right now because I don't think she is. And she's lying and she's using weasel words like, I never employed them. Right, because they were hired on her behalf or something like this. But come on, she worked with Turning Point. Of course, she'd go to an event with the same security people. The same exact people that she accused, claim were going to these crazy meetings. She's making it up. And she doesn't care. There's pictures of Brigitte Macron from like 40 years ago. It's a woman. And Brigitte Macron is like 5'4" and 110 pounds, like a woman. It's just so weird that this poor old lady got nasty plastic surgery and looks all weird, and she goes, that's a guy. And people eat it up. That's crazy.
Candace just rolling the grifter dollars.
It's really obvious, though. Did you guys see that thing she did where she was like, if you want to help with my security, go give me money on my website.
Oh, God.
And buy my book and my really awesome merch. And I'm just like, there it is. Slather it on. You know, oh no, my security, quick, donate to me. You know,
she's making that money, but you know, a lot of people have now started to turn against her because of the whole stuff with Erica and meeting with Erica and all the stuff that she said after. So
what she did in her video, she was like, "These Zionists are dangerous people and they want to kill me, so I need your money." And it's just like so obvious. Well, that there are really low cognitive capability Americans. Okay, we call them Tylenol Americans, and they don't understand. So when she says the Zionists are out to get me, they go, "Whoa, really?"
She's pandering to people that already have a certain perspective. They already believe that, you know, the Zionists control everything, and those people, they're just like, all right, Candace is the one that's saying what I want to hear. So they just go ahead and they say, all right, I'll give you money if you keep telling me what I want to hear.
What's a group of people that we can single out and demagogue against that will make us rich, but like won't get us canceled? Like, I guess for Candace it's the Jews, but I don't want to go there. That's just mean.
Little people.
Little people.
I'd say we could go for the. If you look throughout media,
little people who want a home for the Jews.
Right. I think we could go like the Irish. They control a lot of these media operations.
They're
Sean
in the
Hannity,
banks.
Bill O'Reilly. Hello, wake up, America.
Bro, but when Ye came on the show, we looked up who actually ran the big banks in America, and it was a bunch of Irish guys.
It's the Irish. I'm telling you, it's a big problem.
Irish mafia, dude.
Yeah, I got the call. I couldn't understand it. It's too drunk. It's true.
It was in Gaelic. Yeah. I was like, no one speaks that. It's a dead language. And they were like, how dare you?
Yeah.
And they're bringing it back, though.
It's true.
Yeah,
do your research.
Well, yeah, friends, the Irish want to get me because they want, you know, a home for the Irish.
Mm-hmm. They want all their marshmallows back from the Lucky Charms.
Right. And you know what? If they get me, then I'm going to die because, you know, so you got to give me money.
Yeah.
Really, the only way to stop the Irish from taking my life is for you to give money to me.
Go to timcast.com and become a member.
And then I'll, you know, I don't know, buy gluten-free.
Join the Discord
pizza
and
with it.
Fight the Irish.
Yeah.
They're looking for revenge because of the potato famine.
Yeah,
right?
they're mad. They're mad. They don't stop talking about
it. Did we do that? Did we famine them? I don't think we did.
I wasn't around, but maybe I hold some culpability.
Here's a funny one from an invalid. Buffalo Bill says, Tim said he couldn't afford to make the show. You want to watch him gamble with money you gave him. He's going to lose. He's not the one. Bleeding subscribers as he screams about Candace, and I don't like her. Timcast IRL is up like 70,000 subscribers this month. My other channel, the solo channel where I made a bunch of videos about Candace, is down about 4K. The money for the poker game, it's sponsors. It's because I'm on a channel with 1 million subs at the World Poker Tournament Championships. So other companies are like, we want you to represent us, and they sponsored me, so I don't have to actually gamble my own money.
Tim,
you know.
I have some news here about the Irish. The potato blight was caused by a fungus-like pathogen, Phytophthora infestans, which did come from the Americas.
We
Brought
sent
over
it
by
there.
the
We sent it there on purpose.
That is.
It'd be really funny if, like,
taking it back.
It'd be really funny if, like 10 years from now, there's this mass movement against the Irish, and they're just like, the Irish are taking over and control our government.
Yeah, and they're like, we need a homeland for the Irish. It's been run over with Pakistanis. So it's
Well, they send him to Catalina Island. That's what we get.
that's an option.
But the Irish were in charge when Joe Biden was president, right? Isn't he Irish?
And the Kennedys?
He was.
Kennedys Irish?
The Kennedys are Irish. Very Irish.
There's a lot of Irish influence in this
Whoa,
country.
whoa. Advanced Hunter says, hey, everyone, I'm a longtime listener. Just wanted to let everyone know I'm currently in labor and delivery awaiting the birth of my first child. Merry Christmas.
Bravo.
Welcome to the world,
Congratulations.
Patriot. We have a lot of work to do.
We do.
Start reading tweets.
Love to hear it.
Start
Yeah,
reading
I love
really
this.
weird tweets.
I love this post right here from Buffalo Bill. He's cognitively impaired, but it's okay. We don't mind. He's giving me money to complain about me. Bro, you can call me all the names in the book as long as you're paying me to do it. He says, Candace 150K Tim 17. I don't like either, but he should have listened to Milo if he wants to fund the compound. Bro, I would take this keyboard and I would smash every piece of equipment I had before I ever went Candace Owens' route. She is a vile human being who lies to cognitively impaired individuals like you because you are so stupid. You have just given me $20 that I'm going to use. I'm going to put it on roulette just for you and gamble it. You're giving me money to complain about me. Bro, keep going. Keep going. Come on, I'll read them all. This is the thing about Candace and what she does. She targets the people that are too dumb, and she has no scruples. Graham and I, as we pointed out on the show, we will lose viewers if to do what's right, and we're proud of that. I don't need the money. I'm not going to brag about being the biggest podcast in the world because I'm not a retard who just does this so that you can click buttons. I don't need it. I will do other things for fun. There are things in this world that need to be fixed. There are things in this world that are broken. Candace is the person who breaks them because she is evil. We are the people who try to fix them, and you, sir, are a follower of evil. I hope one day you realize that, but if not, just keep giving me your money because apparently you're not smart enough to recognize I like taking it from you.
If you give him $100, you can actually pick what he bets your $20 on to roulette.
Yeah, that's true.
Go ahead and just $100 and tell him, red, black, double
All
zero,
right,
whatever.
all right. Raymond G. Stanley Jr. says, Tim calling out King Cap over here based. Oh, I don't know. I thought it was really funny. Him and Haley were just screaming at each other the whole time. It was hilarious. But the thing is, like, Haley plays well and crazy, and she's willing to flip off her whole stack no matter what you have. There was one hand where I actually could have played it better, but I would have lost everything. So I'm happy that I played it the way I did. I had ace king under the gun, and I knew she was going to raise no matter what I did. And she had junk. She had 6-8. She had junk. But of course she was going to, because she got lucky. She got to my left. So I limp $10. She insta raises. It comes around. I call the $40, miss the flop, and I'm out. If I had raised there, she'd have re-raised me. It would have gotten back to me, and then I would have re-raised. She would have jammed, and then I'd either have to flip or fold, and she would have hit 2 pair and beat me, and I would have lost $6,000. So you can say that I shouldn't play as king that way. You're probably right, but the way things were running out and the way she was playing, I think I played it well.
Who is Haley, by the way?
Haley Hannah.
Haley Hannah.
She plays crazy, but she's actually pretty smart how she does it. Because every so often you don't know when she's being crazy or she actually has it. That's kind of the point. My friends, smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you know. We got the uncensored portion of the show coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be great. Coming up at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow's going to be crazy. We've got House and Habit and Colonel Kurtz coming on the morning for the Culture War show to talk about all these conspiracy theories and what Candace is on about, what she's doing. So I'm sure it'll be contentious and all that jazz, whatever. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Greg, you want to shout anything out?
Hey, man, buy my comedy album coming out soon. It's called Black Underwear, The Shit You Can't See. Purchase all my Chill Withers albums. Man, thank you for having me on the show, man. You guys are all very brilliant guys, man. I enjoyed listening to you speak. And if I owe you something, get it from God.
Right on. I love that. Well, you can follow me on X and Instagram at Real Tate Brown. Thank you guys for watching the Noon Live this week. I loved hosting it from here. It was a lot of fun. You guys gave me some great feedback. Today's interview with Amber Duke, where we broke down the Compact article everyone's talking about. We chatted, had a great conversation about it, and she knows her stuff. You got to go check it out. It's up on the Culture War channel. So see you there.
You find me at Ian Crossland all across the internet at Ian Crossland, and also go to graphene.movie, sign up for the mailing list. The movie I'm producing, Graphene Movie, we went down to Rice University, interviewed some excellent scientists and groundbreaking future tech. You're going to want to see it at graphene.movie. Check me out there. Phil Labonte.
I am Phil That Remains on Twix. The band is All That Remains. We are going on tour next year. Tickets are available tomorrow. It's going to be All That Remains, Born of Osiris, and Dead Eyes. We start April 29th in Albany, and it goes through until May 23rd. Get your tickets tomorrow. You can check out All That Remains at Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, and Deezer. Don't forget the left lane is for crime.
We will see you all at rumble.com/TimcastIRL for the Uncensored Show. Thanks for hanging out.